here we are with some people. I'm Clint. I'm the DM. This is session 17 of the what campaign? Seasonal arc. It's the seasonal arc. It's right here on my page. Today we have some people with us. It's a smaller, more intimate session. It's very low key. That's why the lights are dim.
Intimate, the way we like it.
To have with me.
I'm Kevin. I play Domino, the human fighter / monk.
I'm Andrew. I play Uriel, the human fighter.
And I'm Jacob, and I play Turok, the Goliath fighter.
Yes.
I forgot what a Goliath was.
Alright, so it's been some time, but I think we're all pretty... Andrew was there, you were there, you filled him in. Let's go over the broad strokes. You guys were looking for the adamant armor. You found the Nasher tribe of Goliath, who you found out make a pretty good business doing some fishing on the coast, western coast of Yafka. Using, in part, the adamant armor. You got swallowed by a turtle! You were in the armor! That's what it was, yeah. So, you guys kind of made your case to them, and the elders of the tribe were like, nah, we don't want anything to do with this, but okay, maybe. Alright, fine. And you helped them with a big hunt. You killed a turtle that was about 200 feet long. They had lured it up out of the ocean by basically chumming the waters. Used Andrew in the adamant armor as a kind of hook. And he had fun down there. Saved you guys from getting blasted by scalding hot steamy water. So that was a good time. And they offered to let you borrow the adamant armor when you need it. And also you had to pay them a little bit, and you agreed that you would pay them more, 500 gold, I think I remember. You paid them 500, and you paid them 500 more. They had said they were going to use that stuff for healing potions and that kind of stuff to help out while you were using the adamant armor. You also discovered that they ship a lot of their food, their fish products into the desert to feed other tribes, which was kind of nice of them. Kind of cool. All right. I had all that written right here. So you guys helped the Nasher tribe defeat their kaiju prey on the 25th of 6th month. There was lots of feasting. You guys kind of got tied up into things and didn't manage to make out of camp that night. So you kind of hung around to the next day, the 26th. When you finally are able to leave, it's kind of an emotional time. You guys helped kill a 200-foot-long turtle. And that's going to feed this tribe and the deep desert tribes for weeks and months to come. This is a big haul. It's a big deal when you leave. People hug you guys and pick you up and cry. Metris is hugging this Goliath warrior, and Herber has become well loved by his students and fellow scholars. If you guys remember, you kind of hung around the camp like while waiting for the prey, the hunt to come in. Like you helped them out in the infirmary and some hunting and scouting and stuff like that. So it's you've made bonds and ties and stuff, and it takes a little bit more work than you'd expect to extricate yourself from it all. Everyone wants to like, hey, bye, have fun, Anyway, so you leave on the 26th, and you head back to Karak Manos' fortress. I think you guys had planned to just kind of touch base with him, see what's going on down in the fortress.
Yep.
So you left on the 26th of 6th month. So it's the 1st of 7th month, 4033 DOS. Yes.
Why don't we just take the armor now?
I don't know.
That's the way it seemed to play out to me. Like, we take it now.
The understanding of the Goliaths was that you would come back later when you needed it. Because you didn't know exactly what you might need it for. But they said, yeah, sure, come back and get it.
So, we're like, all right, next we gotta head to the font. We'll be like, okay, we gotta visit the Goliaths, and then head to the font.
Yes.
Something like that.
I think that was kind of the agreement. Unless you guys want to grab it now. It's really heavy to cart along.
I think we'll be
wearing
okay.
it is very slow.
But I want to try to reassure Uriel that it's gonna be him because he has any experience, the experience with it. Like, it's yours. Don't worry, man. Like, we'll come back when you need it.
And don't forget, you have the sword.
And when we save the world, they're totally gonna let you keep it.
You just shouldn't have got out of it. You should have just anchored in.
You can't move me. I'm invulnerable.
It's mine.
I did do a good job explaining.
You did. Good job. So it's the first of 7th month, 4,033 DOS. You guys are all sitting down for your daily group meal during your rest period. Kandar comes over to Karnan where he sits, finishing a meal of flatbread and thinly sliced croissant meat. She literally like drops a plate of roasted beetles at his feet and just not even like from a sugar container. She just grabs a wad of sugar from a pouch, and then she says, "Happy birthday." And then very slowly, in a strained tone, she says, "Dragons are not pets." And then Metris goes up behind Karnan and drops a crate full of stuff next to him. The crate is full of heavily scratched and dotted with acid scars, odds and ends from the camp. There's gnawed leather, there's skillets and pans that have been chewed on a little bit and are also scarred by acid. There's a broken apart spare wagon wheel that just looks like it's been gnawed apart. And then there's like a pile of blankets that are just covered in reeking, dried dragon
poop
cloaca stuff.
Oh. That's worse.
Oh.
Basically everything in camp that has become prey to Smoog and Hargar. They just dump a crate of it in front of him and just like might drop. This would be more relevant if Dave was here, but he's not, but I thought it was kind of funny, so I wanted to include it.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Dragons are fun. So that was the first of 7th month. A couple more days pass. It's the 4th of 7th month. God damn it, can't nothing. It's Chase's birthday. Right. So that moves us along. That's dragon stuff. So
Just go past all of this.
All right, we're at the 9th of 7th month. All right. All right.
So it's Kyle's birthday.
It's Kyle's birthday. Oh God, is it? I don't know.
No, this is in May, I think.
Okay, all right. So it's the 9th of 7th month, 4,033 DOS. It's slightly over 2 weeks, I think, since you guys were, be the 26th, so 4, 5, 6, 9, yeah. A little bit over 2 weeks since you left the Nasher tribe. You're approaching Carrick Manos' fortress. No problems during travel. You know, a couple odds and ends, a wagon wheel cracks, you fix it, you know, that kind of stuff. Nothing super eventful. You reach the spot in the desert, square or something, I forget which it is. But you remember it's kind of a black stone, like, piece on the surface with 4 pillars around it. And you kind of head in. It's pretty much as you left it when you entered. You follow the Lujgau stone passage to the main area. If Dave were here, I'd mention that Karnan's dragons are getting agitated, and we do some stuff there, but they're not, so it's irrelevant. But Karnan's dragons are agitated. The place has kind of a humid reptilian stink to it now as you journey deeper in, kind of like when you go into a snake house, like it's got that snake reptile lizard smell.
It's not a great smell.
It's not a good smell. So you enter the main chamber, passing through the big black stone wall and gate and everything with the portcullis that was removed with the rotting teeth at the bottom. And it's pretty apparent why there's this reptilian stink. The place is full to the brim with tilak. It's just this sea of shells ranging from like the smaller 30-foot in diameter ones to like the big, older 60-foot in diameter ones with massively scarred shells and that sort of thing. They're all kind of turtling it up and napping, but some of them are kind of chomping on piles of stone and obsidian like Crosank feeding at a trough. There's a very, very large one that looms out of the darkness, kind of looking at you guys with what seems, from your perspective, to be a very critical yellow reptilian eye, and it kind of gnashes this huge, like, stony-looking beak with this noise like stone scraping on stone, and it kind of emits this reptilian shriek, and then it kind of turns and trundles away.
Is that look directed at us or Karnan's dragon?
Well, God, so much of this would be way more relevant if Dave was here. God damn it. The dragons run away, and mostly it was directed at the dragons, because they kind of run away and it kind of turns, walks away.
Defense mechanisms of the T-lock. Yeah.
What?
Is that what it could be taken as? Like it's like a defense mechanism of the T-Lock?
They don't like dragons. That's
Yeah.
all it is. It's kind of like establishing dominance.
Oh, okay.
Hey, get out of here.
From the other side of the room, you hear Carrick Manos bellow, "Abandoned! What ho, my friends!"
Eric Manos, how have you been?
But all right.
He said like
You got,
six of
you
them.
got yourself a couple turtles, huh? Just a couple? A few?
You guys kind of have to dodge and duck, and like there's now the turtles, the T-Lock are kind of waking up with noticing that Carrick Manos is like kind of like engaging you guys, and they start getting up, and you kind of have to dodge and chuck and serpentine through all these swinging tails and huge flat feet, and you kind of find him kind of by the well down there. He's got this giant bedroll, some odds and ends situated around it that kind of make it looks kind of like he's been camping here. Like you get the impression that there's a lot more area to the fortress than you've really seen, but it looks like he's just been camping out here by the well. He's got a couple odds and ends and stuff. He's got his armor piled next to him, and he's like, what did you ask? How have you been? How have you been?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
I've been well. How go things above? What brings you to the fortress? Not that I mind the company.
Just stopping by.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're in the neighborhood. We figured we'd come back.
Oh, okay.
Just a few weeks.
You've done a
travel.
lot here, by the looks of it.
I wouldn't say I've done a lot, but I've attracted a group of T-Lock. And you can hear one of them like honking at him like from over in the other side of the chamber.
Well, it's certainly impressive from where I'm standing.
I'm picturing him like walking through them, sprinkling stone like a chicken. Just handfuls of.
I found a pot of T-Lock and I used them to excavate the tunnels to, as we discussed, break in from the giant passages of lava to the main lava leading from the font to the you know all.
Yeah, the whole plan.
The completely impractical plan to travel the hotter lava streams.
Right.
Yeah.
I used them. They bashed. They're very good at
So
executing.
it's going well.
It's done.
Wow.
If you the abandoned can find a way to protect yourselves from fire, you can go from city to city in days rather than weeks.
That would be incredible.
But as we've discussed, there is the issue of popping up in the furnace of creation in a city, and there being guards and blackstone and
Right.
gates and
Right.
Yeah, but
those such things.
I think they'll be impressed.
Right. Those guys came out of the lava. Let's just let them go.
We come bearing gifts.
Could we like create like a T-Lock shell dome to hide under?
Well, I mean,
Do they shed these things, or are there a couple that got trampled or something?
I mean, sections fall away like scales on a snake, but I don't. It would need to be sealed, and the boat's already protected in a fashion from the heat. You would need to be more protected.
It would just be an inner dome.
I think you would need studs. I think studs are the way to go.
Okay.
Also, have some beer. He's got giant-sized jugs of alcohol that he sets out with juices from nowhere. Have a drink.
Dom was very happy about that. He partakes.
As you've experienced before, there's plenty of mushrooms and some beer. That's what we have to offer.
Dom will happily accept.
Yeah. A humble dinner of mushrooms and beer.
We probably don't get mushrooms much on the surface.
Probably not.
I mean, you know.
Yeah, these are probably
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
A treat.
They're
Yeah.
well, I mean, yes, but they're rare. You have to really build a specific environment to farm mushrooms on Yofka. It's much too hot.
You can pretty much only get them at like Trader Joe's.
It's much too hot and dry and bright.
That makes sense.
They need the dankness of the giants.
You need the dankness of
The Giants have the dank.
dankness. Well,
Are we gonna go to the Eisman? Did we decide not to? I don't know.
There was talk of going to the House of Eyes at least to speak with the Guardian to figure out how he could help. 'Cause
Right.
He mentioned
That he was gonna be
Good.
there.
I think we should.
Yeah. We should always swing by there. We're in the right spot for it anyways.
probably don't try to take Eisman. But just
No. No. Sounds like a good plan.
Grumble, grumble. Yeah, Donald knows.
Just my 2 cents, completely neutral.
You'll die. You'll die.
You'll die.
But we have
All our
dragons.
artifacts will be stuck there with him.
You do have dragons.
I think he'd be like free.
Yeah, but he'll probably like collect the artifacts or at least.
We'd ask him about the adamant armor.
Squish
There's a
him?
chunk missing. While we're stopping at the Guardian.
The adamant armor had a chunk.
Yeah, we can absolutely talk to him.
Yeah, it's like someone got ripped off the back.
But like, you might have to
Like,
hold down the
ripped
back,
off.
like legit.
And like a giant 200-foot turtle like chomped on me, and like it was just like, oh, I can feel it. It doesn't hurt at all. I'm like literally invincible, but I can feel the pressure. And something like ripped this armor apart.
Yeah.
Not so invincible.
But that's the thing. What the fuck could do it if like
Shadow dude.
a turtle's like a giant 200-foot turtle like it's like let go.
Come on.
Isn't that cute?
Something powerful.
Like the Eisman? Did the Eisman do it?
No. Eisman was wearing it.
Oh, he was.
Oh shit.
Oh, one good thing we didn't bring you. You would have
Oh
pissed
yeah.
off.
Okay, we'll definitely talk to him about this.
That's
though.
my armor.
All right.
All right,
So-
Crank, you got the ship ready to roll.
All right,
I'm
we're-
heading back to the House of Eyes.
Yeah.
Is there anything
Of
you need
course,
from
the
us?
vessel's primed and ready. You want to go there? Let's go. What are you going to do there, though?
Just chit chat, you know.
Chat.
We got a buddy we're meeting over
Well,
there.
yeah. Well, I think
Got some
Craig
friends down
deserves to know. Like, all he's
Yeah.
helped with.
And then
Yeah, we tell him about the
Guardian.
Guardian? Okay.
Golem. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Any insight on that?
not really.
Sounds weird.
I mean, we've discussed golems before.
This one seems different.
Sentient.
Just be cautious. We've discussed golems and their powers, and I don't know if they're capable of lying or manipulating, but they serve the edicts of the gods first, and they do that to the best of their ability, including sacrificing themselves for obscure purposes we can't guess at. Just be cautious. I don't know that it can lie. Maybe it can. Maybe it's lying now. Maybe it's not lying. Just
All right.
proceed with caution. And
We're the abandoned. We always do.
don't lie to me.
Ooh, I show him my spear. I don't think he's seen it yet. Because it didn't come from him.
I don't think he has.
Okay. Hello. Hi. Can I help you?
That's what he says.
Hold yes? Would you like me to touch it?
He gingerly. Oh, how nice.
It does like shadow stuff.
Interesting. The Spirit of Winter Shadows, you said. Is the name?
That's the one. I definitely remember that, and not you.
You're welcome. When you're in these shadows, are you able to travel, or just are you able to go through?
Yeah, you can go
are.
through.
You are.
It's chilly.
It's chilly. Interesting.
Like enough that it hurts.
Yeah, it's really cold. Not chilly. I underestimated it.
Did I ever ask Craig Manos about combining more blades of bone and flame?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I want to talk to him about that.
Okay.
I mean, so like, yeah. So you know how you helped me. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah.
I think he looks at it and he kind of pokes at the ice on the blade. And you can see him kind of trying to, like, he's got this big net, like not nasty, but an enormous thumbnail, and he's like trying to like scrape into the ice to get at the studs, but he can't quite. Kind of. You look in your own. May I? Kind of. He kind of positions himself so he's by the light. Let me get this piece of meat off of me. And he kind of positions himself by a light source. There are a couple torches scattered around. He kind of tries to gaze into his shadow and he squints a little bit. There you go. Too resistant to magic. Can't get it to work.
Oh. Weird. Does that mean it would work better for somebody that isn't me too? Since Goliaths are resistant to magic?
Yeah, they are, but it's hard to say.
Yeah.
The way you and your people are resistant to magic is different than the way I am and my people are. It's hard to say. I mean, you could have one of them.
I guess nobody else has ever really held it.
Nope.
It's kind of attached to me. I don't know if that is always, or can I undo that? I don't know how that exactly works.
I completely forgot about that aspect. So when he grabbed it, you saw like a tendril of shadow. Like they didn't connect, and they were kind of dangling in the midair, pointing at each other. And he was like, "Ooh, that's neat." If I remember right, you guys discussed with him the idea of using it to traverse shadows near the furnace of creation in Mennum to get into the shadow of the source, to then go to the font, translate out of shadow inside the font.
Yep,
that was the plan.
Yep. That was our rough.
That was something you had discussed with him, right?
Yeah.
So he kind of, and he's looking at it, and he hands it back, and he's, I think my assessment is accurate. I think if you can traverse through shadows near the font, near Mennum, there will be a gap big enough for you to fall into the shadows of the source.
All right.
Whether or not that is beneficial to you, I do not know. Because as we discussed, the font, the source, is a very hostile place. Golems.
Yeah.
Lots of golems. Probably. He doesn't know for sure. He didn't build the font.
It's all speculation.
It's all speculation at this point.
Well, good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, so speaking of weapons, Manos, you helped me scrounge together what was left of the blade of bone and flame that I brought you.
Yes.
What do you think about the prospect of combining multiple blades of bone and flame into my current spear?
I'm not. If I remember right, Herbert. He talks to Herbert. Yes. You detected when you were you have a stud that detects magic. Yes, and Herbert's like, yes. Were the ashes of the first blade and flame that you guys ruined? Was that magical? Yeah, it had some power. I mean, Manos thinks if I suspected this would work, and it has worked, as we've discussed before. It's hard to say. Could we incorporate? I mean, if you reduced future blades of bone and flame to ash, and we reforged the blade with more carbon from the ashes, I don't know. I don't even know if that's possible, because the fireball stud you gave me is what initially powered the powers, and it's a stud, which makes the metal it is implanted in incredibly hard to destroy. It makes it more resilient. It would be a difficult process, I think, to temper it and reforge it with more carbon from additional rune blades of bone and flame. If you find them, we could experiment, but I have no knowledge of how that would go.
All right. Interesting to know.
And we could just forge 4 different spears and you could just tie them.
Can I make Wolverine claws?
And at that point, you get the sense that Manos has been drinking a lot for a long period of time.
All right. Well,
we can put one on the other end and.
Well, thanks, Gar.
Double spear.
Yeah, I mean,
just attach a spear to each limb. I am the spearman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can probably do it.
You can figure it out. Strap them to your legs.
Each limb. Jesus. I'm a monk.
Oh gosh. So yeah, the boat ready. If you guys want to go, unless you want to have some mushroom.
Some for the road.
Yeah, well, we'll have dinner with him.
Okay.
Right. If he's offering, then
he's very happy to have you guys around.
Oh, yeah.
I show him
He's
the
been talking
shadow
to
blade,
turtles.
and then I mentioned that it was supposed to
Show him what?
I show him the Shadow Blade,
Shadow Blade. Okay.
and I say something about how it was like an echo of itself, or its power was echo of itself, or something that Herbert said. I don't remember exactly what it was, but
Yeah, it's basically an echo of something that was incredibly powerful. Yeah, it's like an after image of something that was very powerful, an echo. Yep.
It's really cool.
Kind of holds it out and looks at him. There's the little like sad looking like tendril of shadow hanging off it. It's not an artifact of the gods. It's not of the bodies of the gods. Herbert, it's exactly as you described. There's an echo there of power, immense power.
Is it made of meteor?
It's made of no, it is not made of meteor. I mean, it looks like black metal. It looks like black metal of some kind with leather wrapped around it. Like, because that's all that's there. There's just a simple hilt and a handle, and it's just got leather wrapped around it for grip. It's all like one solid piece. It's not crude, but it's not like fancy. Like it's kind of like could be better.
Definitely not ornate or anything.
Definitely
like that.
not ornate. It's basically just a tee of metal with leather.
Utilitarian.
Yeah, there we go. That's the word I was looking for. I'm not sure what it is. 'Cause it doesn't have studs. It's definitely not an artifact. None of the gods were made of metal, or shadow. It's a bad
It's a sword.
It's an echo of something that was powerful, and it's kind of powerful because of that.
okay.
Do you mind if I try to say what? Do you describe like he has to focus a little bit?
Yeah.
So kind of gets a good one. Then he strains. I can't get it to work.
It's beyond me.
It's beyond me. It must be my giantess.
I'm gonna show it to him.
What's that?
I want to turn it on for him.
Okay. Make a
see
wisdom saving throw. Or a wisdom check. I forget which it is.
There's wisdom involved.
Wisdom save.
Whiz-biz.
I also got a 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Off day for all of us.
It's beyond me.
It's beyond me too.
Gasp. We all had those days, you real.
Alright. So you guys have dinner, and Kandara kind of approaches you guys after dinner. She's like, I think Metris and Herbert and I and whatever my cousins' names are that are still living. Nema and Jemba. Yeah. Nema and Jemba. I think we'll remain here with Karakmanos. I think he's lonely.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Good.
I'll enjoy that.
She smiles.
I will miss you, though.
I'll miss you too. Don't die. I'll miss you, and I'll miss you, Uriel, and you too, Turok. That's your name. Why couldn't I think of that for a minute?
It was pretty quick.
All right.
Fun fact, I do that a lot when I'm DMing. Like, I feel like I can't remember something or I stutter along something, and someone's like, and then I'm like, man, I can't believe it took me that long. And they're like, that wasn't that long. like
That was like
it
a
feels
half
way
second
longer in
pause,
your head
maybe.
when you're a DM, and you're like, oh, I'm struggling.
They're ending it. They hate the story now.
Yeah, that's 100%.
Start over.
No, I wouldn't even know and couldn't think of it. If you
Same
didn't say
here.
anything. Yeah. He's
That's
like,
what I mean.
He's like, and you. I forgot his name. Gotcha. See? Turok. Turok. He's like, and you, Turok. It was like a
Yeah,
half-second pause.
Okay.
Sounded intentional.
Thank you. Everything I do is intentional. I'm a good DM. So you guys have dinner. It's mushrooms. Kandara tries to work some magic with like some sauces and like seasonings and stuff, but it's mushrooms. It's very earthy, but it's filling. And mushrooms are good. I like mushrooms.
Yeah.
So after dinner, Karakmanos runs you guys down with the commands and like stopping and accelerating and stuff, so you don't end up running around or anything. The
Right.
boat's still on, not autopilot. It's just doing its thing. It's totally a goal. So you guys head out pretty quickly. I mean, you can spend the night, or you can just sleep on the boat. Either's fine. Take you about 3 days to get to the House of Eyes.
Might as well sleep on the boat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's 3 days.
Yeah, let's get going.
All right. So the 6 of you,
Get
because
together.
the other 3 of you are totally there.
Deaf.
Head out. Watches are kept and all that sort of thing. You get to the excuse me. You get to that spot where all those husks started falling onto the boat. They're not there. Nothing happens. It's like everything. The journey plays out pretty much like it did last time, except for the husks. It's not to say it's not awe-inspiring or a tense experience because you are riding on a fucking river of lava in a metal boat. But this is something you've done before.
Yep.
You know, it's not like, oh my god, are we gonna die? What the fuck is going on? So, you know, it's not something that could traditionally be described as a boring experience, but it's something you have done before. Everything goes smoothly, and on the 3rd day you reach the Blackstone dock outside the House of Eyes. The boat just kind of brings itself up. You guys are able to step right off onto the Blackstone, which is protected from the heat and everything. It's now the 12th of 7th month, and just like the first time you were here 5 months ago, you walk for about 6 hours through the tunnels. There's a dull gray metal doorway that you melted into pieces with the spear. You go through that, you come to the faintly shimmering shield around the place. You guys work your Blackstone magic and create a gap and scooch through. And just like last time, you come to a Blackstone sliding door with scratched apart Blackstone and copper cables and all that. And it's been disengaged, and you just slide it open, slide it closed behind you, keep going through. You find the pit with the box in it, and carefully rope your way across. And you come to the giant chamber with a Blackstone floor lit by invisible light sources of some kind. If you remember, it's a huge chamber, giant metal egg that was the actual House of Eyes. The ceiling was all in shadows and that kind of thing. There was a stairway, like a stairway leading up to the next level, which is where the House of Eyes were. So you're down here at the top of the stairs, copper golems and silver golem. The room's silent, smells faintly of ozone and burning dust. It's pretty comfortable temperature-wise. From the top of that enormous steel-colored egg that was the actual House of Eyes, you remember there's a thick cylindrical cable of thick cylindrical column of metal and cables and that sort of thing. At the midpoint of the room, there are the stairs, like I said. And there are 20 copper golems that stand about 5 feet tall. They no longer look super fragile. The copper golems, they're still primarily copper, but they've been bulked out with thicker plates of copper. And they're also covered in like these hexagonal plates of glazed ceramic type stuff, exactly like what is on the exterior hull of the boat. The vessel, the ship. The Guardian is there as well, as I said. It's about 6.5 feet tall. It's completely undamaged. Face is still smooth, oval shape, no nose, no ears or mouth, anything. Last time it had a red band of light or glass or something across its face. Now it's blue. And it was very...
Does seem better.
It was also very like artistic. Like there was sculpted abs and like musculature and stuff. Like it looked like kind of like a work of art. Now it's much more utilitarian. It has humanoid limbs and torso, but it's just smooth metal covered in more of those hexagonal glazed ceramic plates the copper golems have. There's no cable connecting it to the floor anymore. And you can just see like tendrils of blue electricity crackling across its silver carapace between the hexagonal plates of ceramics.
I'm feeling great about it.
Just like last time, the Guardian's voice emanates from everywhere, and he says, "Abandoned! Halt! Do not enter the chamber. I am still bound by the commands of the gods, and no mortal may enter the House of Eyes. So long as you remain at the entrance, which you guys are at, do not set foot within the chamber. You will remain safe."
Okay.
And then there's another pause, and there's a pause, and it says, Due to the ease with which you have penetrated this place 5 months ago, we have been permitted to augment its defenses based on data we have obtained from our last encounter.
That's awesome.
Oh. It's learning.
Who gave you permission to augment?
The gods.
Okay.
So it's just,
It's not a standing order. You speak with them.
It's a standing order.
Oh, okay.
We have been commanded to defend this place to the best of our ability. Based on the knowledge that I told you I could help you, I knew that you would return. Therefore, we must be prepared in the event that you attempt to enter. It's not making any motions. That's just me gesturing, because it's just...
Standing there being faceless and whatnot. Well. So that's, it's fireproof.
Not 100%, but it is resilient against heat.
Yeah.
that's not good for me, guys.
I don't think they see my spear. I don't know if it's gonna do that much good. They're made of metal, so like maybe they got circuits in their back or something.
Golems, not robots.
They
Golems.
have like a ruby on the back of their head. That's their weak spot.
You want to try to look at them through shadows? See if you can pull them in?
Ooh, yeah.
They don't show up.
Ooh.
There's no glowing ruby.
They don't. You can't find them at all.
You can't find their shadow.
Huh.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
different.
There's no.
You think
it's weird light sources though, right? Like it's emanating from everywhere.
It's emanating from everywhere.
So
there are still shadows.
Okay.
You think you could try, but it's not going to be like it would be a situation where you have disadvantage. Like you think you can, like you've become a little bit experienced about looking in a shadow, and you think you know where they are in like the shadowscape that you see in your shadow. You could try and hit one of them and drag them in, but there's no guarantee. Like it would be disadvantaged on all checks involved dragging them in.
Too.
Yeah.
But if we don't go through, are they allowed to come out?
What's
Are
that?
you guys allowed to come out?
No.
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 Can they attack through?
Is that subject to change?
Probably if we find a way to exploit it.
Yeah, that's true. If they're allowed to put plates on themselves, then they can probably.
Where'd they get
Just
the
sit
plates?
in the back and shoot arrows at them.
It's a really good question, Andrew.
How were they
It's really
rebuilt in the
unaggro.
first place? They were like all destroyed.
It's like the dragon's
It's a really good
tail.
question, Andrew. I'm really glad you asked that.
I asked him that.
Wait for him to reset.
How were they rebuilt?
The processes that guard the House of Eyes repair its guardians so that they may defend it further. He points up at the ceiling, which is in shadows. Or maybe he's pointing at the gods.
We should go up there and smash that thing. The column with wires and whatnot. Well, that probably keeps the force field up, though, and I don't know if that's keeping the Eisman in or it's keeping the shadow thing
monster
out.
out. Jesus, there's so many things
Probably not a
we're
good thing
juggling
to be
right now.
smashing without a lot of information. So how bad do we want to go see the Eisman? Like, pretty bad? Do we want to fight him?
How
Domino
already
wants
help
to
us?
fight him.
How can
The
I
rest of
help?
the party is like keeping him at bay.
How do you ask him? How can he help you? On the last field, my shell spoke
yeah,
of how I
good
may
point.
aid you in your quest. I did not comprehend your purpose in coming here originally. Since then, I've been able to review your goals and progress in achieving them. Your professed purpose is to finish what the gods started and rebalance the ecosystems and the climate of this world. You sought out relics of the gods and other potent devices in an attempt to access the font to see what it contains. Originally, I believe with the goal of healing what you refer to as the god of endless winter.
Yep.
Should you enter the font and seek the source, you will find two things. The first is the shadow creature your legends call the god of endless winter.
Oh, fuck.
This being is no god and is in fact the being the gods sought to prevent from ending this planet.
I called it!
The second thing you will find is death.
Ah.
The interior of the font is home to this shadow being, as well as countless legions of golems. Doesn't have any inflection when he's saying this. That was on me. This is just like buzzing, like atonal noise from him.
Microsoft Sam.
Yes.
As well as countless legions of golems.
I want to try
You should have typed all this in
Now you
Microsoft Sam.
as well as I can't do it. The interior of the font is
Can you just copy paste it into Microsoft Sam?
The interior of the font is home to this shadow being, as well as countless blah, 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 as well as levels of magical energy you cannot hope to survive. You've seen what the studs of Luzhao can do to the bodies of mortals. You cannot imagine the potency of raw magical energy. The Luzhao stone you wear and wield will protect you from the brunt of it, but it will rapidly become unbearably heavy due to absorbing so much ambient energy. Instead, you may seek to destroy the shadow creature. You're a god of endless winter. This being is a creature known as a Vacusu, a being as potent as the 4 true gods of Hasta. If you would pursue destroying this creature, hold to your purpose, seek out the remaining blades of bone and flame, and any other remnants of the goddess of eternal summer, as well as any other fragments of the bodies of the gods that you come across. Only with these potent artifacts can you hope to match the power of such a creature. Eisman fights me, so I am unable to fully access the full range of his sight, but I know your current plan of heading towards Mennum has merit, and you are likely to find another blade of bone and flame if you continue on that path.
Well, all right. Why are you helping us?
Because the end result of your actions is likely going to be the defeat of the Vacusu creature. This more than fighting your god of endless winter is the paramount task of the gods. It is their ultimate goal for this world and their advisors. I am playing word games with the edicts that control my behavior in an attempt to tell you these things and aid you.
You keep saying that's what the gods want, not wanted. Are the gods still alive?
Not in a sense that you and I would recognize as life. They are not alive as you are. But they are more alive than I am? No, he doesn't say that. That doesn't make any sense.
Alright then. Well, and I'm assuming the gods are helpless then to aid us against this Vacuso, you call it?
Vacusu.
Vacusu.
The gods are not relevant to defeating it at this point. At least, their powers are not. If that makes sense.
As much as it's going to, I suppose.
Yeah.
Well, guys, what does that mean?
I guess it means we head to Mennum. And we collect a bunch of artifacts, and then we use that goddamn lantern to pull them out, and we wail on them. Not immediately when we get to Mennum, but like when we're ready. Obviously.
We can go get the armor.
Guardian
We
was
can
like,
get the rest of the
Yeah, we get everything we can. You know, maybe get Crank and a bunch of turtles, and you know, whatever we want. Take them down by the ocean. We try and push them in or something. I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do. Get a big shrimp to get him.
Get a big shrimp.
You know, all sorts of things that we could set up.
Right.
But yeah, I guess we know we don't have to get into the font anymore. That's off our back. Plan's done.
It sounds like it'd kill us.
Yeah, it's good that we never tried it.
It is.
All that hard work gone and nothing.
Yeah, what if we would have just...
Imagine if we would
Greg
have...
says we can do it, let's go!
Imagine if we would have not come here and been like, the Guardian's probably a dick. And then we just went and did it, and then we all just died.
Well, he did totally say he'd help us, right? And I mean, I guess he is.
Yeah, this is helpful.
But like...
Unless he's lying. Fuck. No, he's not. He's not lying.
Why...
All the copper golems say one of us lies, the other tells the truth at the same time.
What is keeping us... Why do you keep us from going any further here? What danger do you feel that we pose?
And I keep looking at you like...
The edicts of the gods. This is Clint thinking. It's not pausing. I'm just trying to think how he would phrase things.
I understand what I just did, so it's okay.
The edicts of the gods maintain that Eisman must remain chained and must be kept from influencing the outside world as much as possible. Every time mortals interact with him, there's a chance that he offers some tidbit of knowledge, his range of knowledge and sight and hearing are more expansive than any of you could imagine. He knows things that I do not know. He is not a prophet, but his knowledge is so expansive that he may as well be some tribal shaman your ancestors worshipped, seeing the future in entrails and cheese. Who does that? Man, some cheese. Every time he interacts with mortals, there's a chance that he sets something in motion that the gods are not here to stop. We, their servants that still exist, we run in circles performing the tasks laid out for us until this planet fully cracks open and is destroyed.
How do we know that the Eisman isn't serving the gods and you're the one standing in our way?
I have no way to reassure you that is true.
What exactly did the Eisman do?
He killed.
Which ones?
He killed
All of them.
He killed the.
God of unwavering balance.
No. He killed the Scaled King, the god of unceasing summer, something like that. Spring. The god of unceasing spring, also known as the Scaled King by Karen Kamanos. The cloak of spring. It was he that betrayed the gods initially, took down the Scaled King before there was even a war really going on.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah. Kind of a shit move. I don't know what else to do here.
So,
I don't think we want to go past him now. I mean, he's been fairly helpful, and they look
how
tough
do we
now.
know he's not dicking us, though? Just like the Eisman would.
I don't know.
Like, how do we know we're not doing his bidding?
Like, we're going to collect all these and then call the thing out and then just get stopped and then they have all the pieces.
Like, how do we know he's not... how do we know the Eisman's not in his ear? And they want us to kill the
god of
Yusu?
endless winter.
Ah! Well, regardless, I think...
I just want to point out that one of my favorite things to do as a DM is make players make decisions without all knowledge.
Well, yep, that's what's fun.
No.
Well, I guess, regardless, we can say that we should probably go to Mennum and get another...
Yeah,
plate of
we know
flame.
there'll be something there, so... Do you have information on where other artifacts might be? Do you have access to that? Could you give us some more accurate locations? We have legends and rumors.
So he was pretty still. Like, occasionally, like, he would shift as you guys, like... Because you guys are humans, so you kind of naturally, like, adjust your position and maybe you itch your shoulders and stuff. And there was some movement among, like, the Guardian of, like, facing you guys, like, in the most... what could be described as the most optimal position to, like, superhero leap towards you and, like, smash his fist into your faces.
As soon as we made an impromptu move.
Yes. So, like, at that question, he goes kind of still and not slack, but, like... leans a little bit, and his band of light on his face goes red. And there's a pause, and another pause, and like this goes on for probably 5-6 minutes. And then he comes out, the light changes to blue, and he's back up to being alert and straightforward. And in no time were the copper golems like they were still present. And he says, "Eisman fights me. There is another blade of bone and flame. No, not a blade of bone and flame. A piece of the... like there's kind of a wine. As he, like there's a wine, maybe from him, maybe from the area around you, of like something grinding and straining against something. And he says there is a piece of the Horned Queen in the south east, and now he is pausing. He's pausing, like something is causing him to struggle to think. In the southeast portion of the continent.
That narrows it down.
You remember that Herbert said something about the tomb of Hashaka Tellardel in square V30, which is in the southeast portion of Yavka.
All right. We got a lead.
I think. Now I have to actually review my notes. Give me 1 second here to look at where the other blades are. Notes. And he says there are Goliaths not in Millen, but near Millen, that have another piece. I do not know if it is there's this like shrieking alarm blaring now, and like the light blanketing the area like starts strobing red. I cannot push him further. Millen, maybe?
I cannot push him further. So this motherfucker's pulling information from the Eisman.
Yep.
Look, he's like hooked up to him somehow, right?
It gotta be.
Some way through, electronics or
Magic.
Or it's probably just like the dome. And then
yeah, it could be some kind of weird thing, but like,
yeah,
are you generally hooked up to the guy that you're guarding or the guy that's in charge? You know what I mean? If I was gonna, I don't know.
We can't talk to him because he gives bad information, or because it can change the events of things. But if he filters the information,
Right. Seems odd a little bit.
He's a firewall.
He only lets the potent. I don't know, man. I don't know.
So.
Just
we have two options right now. We go get the Blade of Bone and Flame, or we go find the artifact from the Scarless Queen.
Or
Scarred Queen? Scarless.
Horned Queen?
Horned Queen.
We
That's
give these guys
that's where
the business.
Kyle, the Scarless Cutlass is from. It's made from artifacts from the Horned Queen, right?
Scarless Queen. Your
Scarless Queen.
artifacts are from the spears from the Horned Queen.
Okay, I had that way backwards. So so we have a Blade of Bone and Flame and Mennum. We have
The
that
men.
in the southeast portion.
Yeah.
The tomb.
At that tomb.
So.
Or, we could slash these guys up real quick, and then go ask the Eisman ourselves, and then just be prepared that we'll probably never be able to get in again because they're gonna up it again.
I feel like that's a bad idea, because then they'll just learn what new tricks we have.
Right, and that's what I said, and just be reserved that we'll never be able to come back.
Well, then we'll
Shadow Realm repulsors.
yeah, then we'll have to figure out something new. My thing is like, let's go check out his info.
And just to be
see
clear,
how
their lack of presence in your shadow sight is not something they evolved to fight you specifically. It's just a natural effect of golems.
All right.
So the question is, where do we go?
I guess Mennum.
What do you have set up here?
Mennum.
Let's
Mennum
go to
it
the other
is.
place.
Yeah, I kind of envisioned it as like hitting Mennum because like I think it was Kyle or some of you kept going on about how you haven't been to Mennum, and then boink.
No, I'm totally cool with Mennum. That's fine.
It's a long journey.
Before we go, I just want to ask if he knows how the adamant armor was damaged.
Ooh, good question.
The Scaled King tore it off of Eisman with his powers.
Where did this battle take place?
Points up the skies above Yavka.
Like it does.
Word balance.
I mean, they both had wings.
Did we know that?
Yeah, well, he did hint that the Eisman would be.
You guys
Mobile.
you guys saw leathery scraps. When you were, I pinned it in the Discord. I don't know if that did anything or notified anyone, but I pinned when you were assessing Eisman like as a threat.
Okay.
And some things you learned about him in the latest Discord, which was after session 6.
Just a minute ago.
But one of the things you saw was like leathery flaps, like that could either be like crushed wings or maybe like skin sails, like some lizards have, like some dragons have, like a Dimetrodon
I remember that now.
or a Spinosaur.
Yep. Okay.
You weren't 100% sure, but it seemed possible that he had wings. And nobody knows what the Scale King looked like because he's called the god of spring now. So
Okay.
who knows? I'm sure there are legends of him having wings and some not having wings. And there are lots of people that worship the gods.
That
Sounds
he had
like he
scales,
had
though.
I said, it sounds like he had wings.
He did. He did have wings. DM to players, he had wings. Big wings.
And scales.
And scales.
Sounds like a dragon.
So many scales.
Sounds like a big dragon.
Of the gods, he is the most dragon-like of them.
I knew it! I had a hunch.
It all adds up.
When you said wings and scales, I knew it.
Alright. Anything else you guys want to know?
I mean, I guess I ask if he would know where that missing chunk is of the armor.
I have not thought to. This is my face. This is the face I make when he's fighting. Like nothing happens with him other than the like. The desert may destroyed. It fell to the desert. They fell. They fell to the desert near the pillars of iron. That's all. He can. I can't get more.
I picture us going back, and there's like an obvious piece of this.
It's like one pillar over from the one you were on. This huge chunk of armor
just, like,
laying
stuck to the
there,
wall.
like stuck to it.
Think that's it? Could be.
You boys come back to ruin another artifact. We ain't giving you it. Can't have it. I tell you what.
I tell you what.
Old Nithermere ain't giving it up. Broke the first one. Oh hey, look at that spear. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, time to go.
I enjoyed writing and thinking about his personality. he was fun. Like getting in his headspace was really fun for me. Anyway, anything else with the Guardian?
You do this weird thing where I don't know. Is it like you switch consciousness? Why were you in the battlefield?
I have many shells that I can transmit to across the world.
Huh. And where is there other ones? If
Yes.
we have questions that we can visit you.
No. Most of them are backups. I have 2 in the Font of Shadows, one in each of the cities, and 3 more backups on this continent.
So can we ask you questions in the cities?
If we find you,
I sit at the Furnace of Creation. It would be very difficult for you to get there and survive.
we got away.
We have a way.
No, we don't.
I mean,
No, we don't.
oh, yeah, that would be really hard.
Super hard. Like impossible. Even through the lava tubes. Especially lava tubes.
like for real, how much of this are you guys saying? Yes or no? Like any
No,
of it?
none of it.
No.
Okay.
I mean, the Eisman probably knows.
We definitely asked him if we had a way, but I don't think we would have let him know. That
Okay.
we have a
That's
way
probably
to
true.
get
The Eisman probably does know what we've been doing.
So whether, like, it doesn't matter if the Golem knows or not, because the Eisman knows anyway. So even if you guys think he is working for the Eisman or against the gods,
maybe he's
the Eisman
not
already
getting.
knows.
Like this is all speculation.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not getting his information from the Eisman. We don't know.
Are you getting your information from the Eisman?
Some.
So, oh Jesus, that makes things even more complicated.
Okay, well, are you like connected to him or?
Yes.
And you're
What's he thinking right now?
ouch, ouch, ouch.
A variation of that.
All right, I don't know. I'm just you're wanging up our headspace. I'm not.
Wanging up.
I wasn't going to give you anything for free.
Not super psyched with you, Golem. All right, let's get out of here.
Okay. Alright. Alright, so you're done?
Yeah.
I'm done.
Alright, moving on. So, you guys leave. Maybe you say goodbye to Guardian. Guardian has no real personality aside from now, like, saying things and knowing things, so he and the Golems don't really react. They haven't really moved since you guys came, and as you guys leave, they don't really seem to care. 3 more days. Get back about the 15th of 7th month. Nothing has changed. Everyone's still alive. The T-Lock are still all over the place. Carrick Manos is kind of, you get the impression that he's cleaned up a little, like the place wasn't nasty, but like there was T-Lock juice all over the place. And it looks like he's taken an effort to, maybe Kandara did it, but the place is a little bit cleaner. It's a little more organized. Bedrolls have been dragged out for the rest of the group. There's an actual like camp set up. Carrick Manos's big blackstone armor with like the integrated blade and shield has been like put on an actual armor stand rather than just piled on the ground near the well. It's a little more organized. Carrick Manos is no longer drunk. All right, so you guys are back. Friends, how went your journey to the House of Eyes? And Herbert is right there beside him, like a little, like, yes, what did you learn?
It was confusing.
Confusing.
Yeah, he gave us a lot of information, but like you said, he could be a liar. You really put. I would have probably not thought that he was a liar had you not said it.
I apologize,
But it's probably good to doubt it a little. He gave us some information on some artifacts and said they're going to the fountain to kill us, so that
does complicate things. But
I
I did say that it would be dangerous.
Right. You had that idea. He essentially said to bring the thing out and to kill it, and that's what the end goal is.
The shadow creature?
Yes, it's I tell him the name, which I forget.
Vacusu.
I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but
He hasn't. I've never heard of the name. We knew there was a threat to the world, but the gods did not share what its shape was, what its nature was. So what is the next step for the Abandoned?
Mennum. More bone and flame.
More bone and flame. Do you tell them everything that the Guardians?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Relay all the information that we get.
It seems like the Guardian is implying that the Blades of Bone and Flame are somehow, what's the word I'm looking for? Antithetical? Antithesis. The Blades of Bone and Flame are somehow the antithesis of the shadow creature, which, if it is a creature of darkness, they're
Dark and cold. Light and warm.
Light and warm.
Makes
sense. That makes sense. A little on the nose. But.
Yeah. It's like someone didn't think too much into it when they were writing.
Dude. We have so many things we can discuss at the debriefing session. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
There's going to be a debrief session after this campaign. You guys can ask all the stupid bullshit. Why did you do this, Clint? What were you thinking?
Why was it this way? Yeah.
They just filled in Carrick Manos on everything that went down with the House of Eyes.
All right, cool. Should have asked him if
he did not recognize the name Vacusu or that
Really?
the being was the threat. Like he mentioned that the gods told them the giants that there was a threat, but they didn't really know the nature of it. They just kind of did what they were told.
He's never heard of a Vacusu or.
And then the Lujgal controlled their minds and everything. And
It's really interesting.
Frank, you do seem lonely here. You thought of looking for more giants,
Can I?
awakening them or whatever.
Yeah, there are more giants
There's
here,
gotta be.
right?
You can't be the only
Oh yeah,
one.
there are lots of giants. He
Hey, don't you have like a giant girlfriend you can wake up?
You guys do have females, right?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Kind of rubs a hand across his face, and I don't know what to do with myself. I was a leader before my race was put to sleep. I commanded warriors and artisans, and I had advisors. I thought I would make the rest of my people, but to do what? This world slowly grinds towards annihilation, and do not mistake this for lack of confidence. You are the abandoned. I have seen and heard. I have seen what you can do. I have heard you tell me your stories, and I have no doubt of their truth. But God, you guys are blowing shit for insight. In our cradles, we are immune to the ravages of time, and the cradles themselves are almost impregnable. If I leave my people be, the possibility of life remains. If I wake them, it only serves to give me company in the face of an uncertain future.
Well,
What?
say,
If you are successful, if we defeat this Vacusu, of course I'll wake them. But for now, the future is uncertain.
Maybe just one.
Maybe just what?
What?
Well,
Yeah.
if we don't defeat this Vetkusu, doesn't that mean annihilation for the world?
What sort of?
Will your people survive that annihilation, even if they're in eternal sleep?
At least-
Enjoy what little time you have with them.
At least they're at peace now. They have no worries, no cares. They do not have to worry, as I do, about the future of the world.
A little off.
What if
topic. But this reminds me of a movie.
Waking.
I don't remember what movie. it
Wait.
is. But it's like
I am-
these people. They're in a ship somewhere, traveling in or they're all in like cryosleep, and like one guy's malfunctions, wakes up.
Wally?
Not Wally.
Okay.
And then he's awake. He's awake for like 3 years by himself, and eventually he like wakes up this girl.
Oh,
and it's
whoopsie!
like,
Your
your
cradle
pod
bell.
malfunction too.
Yeah.
And then eventually he tells her, and she's like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be like hundreds of years before they get where they're going. So like they'll be dead long before.
Yeah. They're stuck on this space.
I don't remember what the movie.
It's Chris Pratt and
Yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence, but I don't remember the name of the movie.
Yeah.
I've never seen it either, but I know what
I've
you're
seen
talking
it.
about.
Yeah. And that's kind of his, like,
His dilemma.
he would be. I feel like it would be very selfish of me to wake up my friends and my advisors and my loved ones.
Well, just know that if you did, even wake one of your kind, we wouldn't hold it against you. Makes sense to us.
The
To me.
Definitely to me.
right,
Is there anywhere you want us to check? Make sure the cradles are still active?
they're fine. They're fine.
Well, we woke you up.
Oh, you mean you woke me up with the power of a god's claws?
Alright. Fair. Fair. There's other ones out there. Sass.
To be fair, that was one of the best decisions we made.
Yes.
We don't know where we'd be without you right now.
We wouldn't have that.
We wouldn't have-
I have a pile of ashes. So.
Yes. Win! We won! We won, guys!
When,
Oh,
when
no,
the shadow
yeah.
creature shows up, just throw him at him, and eventually he'll die of like black lung.
Black lung, oh, fixes.
The long game.
Good times. Good times. God, I really wish. God. Well, what if you roll an actual insight check? I've been rolling for you, and I. Okay.
It's a 5.
Okay.
It's not meant to be, Clint.
It's not meant to be. All right. Fucking it. God damn it.
The woes of a DM. Let
I-
the dice fall as they may.
Okay. So things. Anything else you want to make Garrick Manos feel sad about?
I'm trying to make him feel better.
I don't know.
Is everyone good? Do we need to take a break?
Alright. I don't really hear anything.
Next little bit's a montage. So
Well, I guess we can take it. I'm really hungry. I could go get a pizza or something. Is anyone else hungry?
Yeah, I could eat.
I could eat pizza.
Yeah.
Choo-choo.
All right, we're back. We're recording. We've eaten, mostly. And you're heading to Mennum. All right, so you leave on like the 16th of 7th month-ish. You reach the... Wait. Okay, so you head out from the fortress on the 16th of 7th month. Are you taking everyone with you?
Do they want to come?
Sure. I mean, everyone's willing to go. It's what do you the 6 of you want?
Huh.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Don't give me that look.
Does
Ask
she doesn't have
Kendara
any?
what she wants
Yeah,
to.
she doesn't have any particular reason to avoid Mennum, right?
No.
And I'm sure Herbert's game to go.
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere.
I asked
so-
her if she's ever been to Mennum.
Thanks. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I would know if I was to a city. They're huge and impressive. I've never been to Mennum.
You should come with us.
Alright.
I hear Mennum's nice this time of year. Very hot.
It's very hot. Yes, it's very warm.
Like all the times of year.
It's always nice.
It's always sunny in Mennum.
And everywhere else as well. Oh, it's always such a good show. Alright, so you head out. Carrying Mouse is like, yeah, don't forget to break hair stones. And he holds one up.
Oh, we got him. Yeah.
So you head out from the fortress. You've got your 2 wagons, the Crowsank pulling them, various NPCs, 90 days of supplies. Unless you want more. Do you want 100 days? 100 days? 90 days?
90's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, there's a razor stone.
100 days.
I dare us to run out of supplies. I'll eat the dragon.
You eat the dragons.
I dare us to run out of supplies.
Okay. The journey starts out uneventfully, but on the second day of travel, a razor storm erupts from the area around the bottom shadows. Luckily, you're never in danger from it, because it just kind of curls southeast and
Good stuff.
southeast and...
What happens if we make it rain during a razor storm?
Don't we have to worry about a wet
Kyle.
razor storm?
There's a rainbow, but also.
Well, see, the razor storms are so hot, so as it spins around and contacts like the storm, it vaporizes the water droplets, and it just becomes this cyclone of like scalding hot steam and sharp stones.
Seems worse. I'm gonna be honest.
So, it fades away after 4 days. You guys can kind of see it on the horizon, but you're miles away from it and never in any danger.
I was just picturing like it running into like like salty air and just becoming like a salt and lemon juice storm. Salt, lemon juice, and razors.
There isn't much weather on Hosta, but the weather there is fucked up.
Oh no, the razor storms had to wait for the lemon grove and the salt mines.
So, the next 2 days pass less uneventfully. You start to see serious dragon interest on your 4th day of travel. It starts with a small flock of winged dragons kind of tracking you from the sky. Maybe 6 or 7 of them. But it doesn't really become a serious problem because they kind of follow you into a desert raptor's territory, and fighting off the huge bird of prey seems to tear apart the flock enough that they're just, alright, we're out of here.
Good.
On the 6th day of your journey, 3 medium-sized young dragons approach your camp and are turned away by the arrows of Kandara, Jemba, and Nema. By the time they're close to you guys, they're so injured from arrows that it's basically just walking up and like sticking a sword or a spear into their necks. Like they're too injured.
Age compared to Karnan's dragons?
Much older.
What was like the intent of these? Did they look like they wanted to kill us, or were they like?
Oh, they always want.
It's hard to say. They were mostly dead by the time they actually got up on you.
Oh yeah, but were they flying at us like aggressively?
Well, we drank that. We drank the blood. We're hunted by dragons forever.
Yeah,
Or were they more
I
like-
keep forgetting about that.
Investigative.
Yes. Investigative and probably moving towards hostile. would be your assessment?
With the arrows? Or... the arrows help?
The arrows did not help.
Hey, those guys that drank the blood of my people also captured 2 young babies. Murder.
Yep, this is actually a concentrated liberation effort.
Has nothing to do with the blood.
Nothing to do with the blood. On the 7th day, so this is 4th, 6th, and 7th, you make your camp to wait out the hottest part of the day, and while you're setting up, you find dragon sign on some nearby rocks and a mostly eaten jesterhound carcass. You don't actually see a dragon that time, but it's just there, like, oh, dragons, okay.
It was clearly dragons.
Things proceed that way for days. Like, you're constantly beset by young dragons everywhere you camp. Like, you find dragon sign everywhere, like almost like they're coming at you from every direction and like moving away as you approach. Kind of like you make camp near some rocks, you find dragon scat. You make camp near near some trees, you find dragon markings on the trees. You see a dragon in a tree over there. You know,
there are trees.
There's a little like this would be like there's in the fertile region there would be like scraggly trees. I misspoke.
Okay.
It would be more appropriate to say there were dragons like hanging out, like flying dragons hanging out on a cactus.
Okay.
It would be more appropriate. Or like a shrub, because there are shrubs, like there are tumbleweeds and stuff.
We
there
can
are,
have tree-sized cactus. That's fine with me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good with whatever.
Yeah. There is vegetation. It's not healthy, like leafy oak trees. Whenever I say tree, I mean something scraggly and blackened and brown and looking half dead.
Okay. So I wanted to check. We can get rain every now and then, so.
But
Things are sprouting.
Things are sprouting for about 3 minutes and then it all dries up. But like you're finding dragon sign everywhere. You're seeing dragons. Dragons are coming after you in an annoying way. You keep good watches, and you're never really in a practical sort of like real danger because you know you keep watch. You see them coming. The desert is flat in every direction, and you shoot things that look hostile. You know, like you guys, this is not your first rodeo. Like you're not idiots. But problems do develop. The Crowsank are getting seriously freaked out by dragons. Karnan's dragons have turned into complete spazzes, constantly shitting and hissing and clawing at everything they can get into. And here we had a nice little segment where Karnan could make some decisions about his dragons. So that's irrelevant.
Cut loose.
But how do you guys manage your Crowsank? Like, are you just using animal handling to keep them under control? Are you...
Whoa. Whoa.
Easy, boy.
Just that, you know, like how you talk to animals.
Okay.
Animal handling, yeah, I would assume.
Okay. Anyone want to make a animal handling check?
I'll do so.
I don't know what
12?
my skill is,
12?
but it's probably not better than that. I rolled a natural 7, so.
Okay.
Yep, that's a 9.
That's 9. Alright. They don't deal with everything great. Like, you do your best. You guys do your best. You make a concerted effort to, like, keep them calm. But, like, maybe there are too many dragons. Maybe it's the fact that they're constantly around Karnan's dragons. Maybe you guys are incompetent lizardmen. It's like horsemen, but lizards. Reptile men? I don't know. Whatever. It slows you guys down dealing with the Crowsank because they're constantly like, nope, not going any farther. No. Oh, there's dragons over there. You know, it's
There's
a problem.
dragons behind us.
There's dragons behind us. There's a dragon sitting on me. I need an adult. But yeah,
It's not great.
yeah, it slows you down a little bit. But you keep on trucking, you know. You reach the outskirts of Mennum on the 18th. Probably the dragons causing problems probably slowed you guys down about like 2 days, 3 days almost. Like, it's not significant because you have 90 days of supplies, but like if you were a little more strained, it could be a problem. And, you know, it might be a problem in the future. It's something to consider because this doesn't look like it's stopping.
So
There's a dragon over there right now.
It's not like they're
It's almost like we should travel by lava tubes.
They're just like following, attracted to us, like drawn.
It's hard to say because when they reach you, like typically they're half dead because
Right.
shit, there's a dragon over there. You know, they haven't like attacked you, but they've always been approaching you with the intent to approach close.
Now, hear me out. What if everyone just thinks they're being attacked by dragons when they drink this blood because no one wants to get close to a dragon?
Herber says, that's fascinating. I never considered that.
Maybe they want us to let us ride them or something.
And he opens his book and he starts flipping pages and starts reading.
We could be all over this continent just flying dragons.
It's possible. If you were really, really tiny, and you will never fly on a dragon. You are too big and they are too small.
What about like a really big dragon?
Bigger ones don't fly. Typically the smaller, the very small ones are the ones that fly. And they don't get very big.
Domino makes a mental note to look for a reduce person stud when we get to the next.
Guys, I'm flying on a dragon! Why do you sound like, oh, you're...
I guess a large dragon would work too.
That's an idea.
It'd probably work better.
Yeah.
But you
We're
also
intimidating.
with a stud. I don't know, but I guess I don't know how the stud works. Can you still throw?
I'll look into it.
Yeah. That's right. I don't know.
So put the stud in the dragon.
Let's put it in the dragon.
That'll make it psyched.
Oh, that's all you need. That's deluge.
Dragons, they can be small.
So,
How to train your dragon.
all right. You have 73 days of supplies remaining. You're about 3 miles. So, this little gap has been 17 days. I can count. It's been 17 days since you left.
Not bad.
You're about 3 miles west of Mennum. You can easily see the huge black walls of the city. Domino, you use the spear as a walking stick, right?
Yeah.
Like it's kind of out.
Yeah.
Are you walking right now, or are you riding in a wagon?
We'll say I'm walking. I'd like to say I walk as much as I get the opportunity now that my joints don't ache so much from
Right.
enhanced ability, my enhanced ability stud.
Is the spear on or off?
It's on.
It's on? Okay. So the spear's just burn. You guys are kind of, you've been moving kind of in an arc, kind of towards Mennum. And you kind of hit the bottom point of that arc to where you're in line with Mennum. And all of a sudden, as you're walking towards Mennum, you're about 3 miles to the west, heading east towards it. It's later in the day, maybe 5 or 6. You're holding the spear, and she vibrates the flat of the blade with the eye stud on it, and looks south. And she's vibrating, and kind of vibrating so fiercely, she's dragging your hand a little south, your arm a little south.
That's where the tomb is that has a part of her body. That's what we learned from the...
That sounds right.
Is
That was your
anyone
conscience
around
speaking.
me?
I don't know. Are you walking in among everyone?
We'll say I'm out ahead
Okay, you're
a little
out.
bit, as long as everyone's cool with that.
So this is a private moment between you and the spirit.
Okay, that's what I'm shooting for, and I just say soon, my queen, and I shut off the spear.
Okay. She doesn't go off. like, do you tap the stud, or do you try to will it shut off?
I'd like to say I don't really try to use the stud anymore,
Okay.
since I don't need to.
So you kind of,
I try to tell her soon and tell her to rest.
okay. No.
You're getting the feeling no.
Actually, yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
Like she's a spear. She can't walk. All she can do is vibrate. If you keep going, like you can go back to Carrick Manos' fortress, and she can't really stop you.
Right, I get that, but
But
it has its hold on me, I'll say. I stopped walking, and maybe I'll jump on the wagon with Uriel and Tarak if they're on a wagon together.
sure.
I like wagons.
Yeah.
Say, I don't know. We're already kind of out here. What do you guys think about stopping at the tomb first?
The tomb is way east.
Oh, it's east?
Like way east.
And it's pulling us
Like
south.
30-ish days east.
Like,
Is it
how
going
close
that
are we
direction?
to Mennum?
3 miles. It's right over there. Okay, Mennum is right over there. The
Oh,
spear.
yeah, you said we can see the walls. Okay.
Yeah, Mennum is right over there. V30, where Herbert said the tomb of some desert king that ruled like 12 people, is like way beyond Mennum, and a little like because the
So,
continent kind of curves.
Is the spear vibrating toward that?
No, it's vibrating to the south, like directly.
Oh, so that's
south.
through Mennum.
Guys, I think my spear is trying to tell me something. It wants us to go south.
Okay.
It might be worth
All
investigating.
right, let's.
Herbert gets right up on it.
I was about to call.
Watching it from like multiple angles. That's the spear like.
Can I like mentally will it to like flare up to scare Herbert?
You can try. Make a charisma check.
9.
Make an insight check to see if she can interpret what the fuck you want. She cannot. It's just like what?
I'm just getting. You're sending some weird signals. Herbert, anything in that direction that you might know of at all? Anything? Desert?
There's a desert. There's the shore, villages, towns. We're in the fertile region.
That's why I think it's worth checking out. It's never done anything. It's never done anything like this, right?
No,
It's never done anything like this.
she's vibrated like in anger, but never like you
This direction.
go that way.
It might be pointing us to something. I don't know if she'll keep doing it.
Herbert is yes. Let's follow the intelligent spear that's made of a dead goddess. We should definitely do this.
Seems reasonable.
He is no. He like it sounds like I'm being funny and sarcastic, but he is completely about what you want to do. Like yes, please.
Does everybody want to come, or does like Kendra and Jembo want to continue to the city? And I don't know, just feeling her out.
So I think Kandara and the cousins and Metrish should go get us rooms ready, stuff like that. Get us a place to stay. We'll take one wagon and we'll
Kind
meet
of
them
feel
back
it out
in
and
Mennum.
hang out in the city for a
Are you
little
gonna
bit.
bring Herbert with you or send him on to the city?
I'll bring Herbert. Right.
As long as Herbert wants to come, but
Oh, yeah.
I'm assuming he wants to.
Oh yeah. All right, so you split the party.
We
They
split the
continue to Mennum. You guys head south. So you turn your portion of the party south, following the tuggings of the spear. You're currently in the fertile region around Mennum, and you've passed a couple towns, but I kind of gloss over towns. Like the towns are very kind of classically medieval, just because they're close enough to the city that they can benefit from the purifier and the furnace of creation enough that they can actually grow crops and stuff. And I tend to gloss over towns a lot. And you've passed a couple, and around Mennum, one of the things Mennum is known for is having signal towers in every town. At the center of every town is a 3 or 4 story tall tower with a big iron disc on top, polished to a high sheen, about a high sheen as you can get iron, which I guess probably isn't. I don't know. I've never really seen raw iron, but they do it and they use light and they
Polish the hell out of it.
You can polish a turd.
That's
So,
true.
I mean,
That's true. Let's just prove that. That they use signaling, like they signal the city with mirrors on these towers and stuff, and that's kind of Mennum's thing. Like they're very military. Mennum is very much more militaristic than the other cities, even if they don't really engage in combat. Like you see patrols and barracks buildings. Usually the tower itself with the signaling mirror, signaling piece of metal on top.
They ever point them all at the same thing?
I don't know. Do you ask Herbert?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like maybe
I mean,
dragons flying or something.
Maybe
they just
try to startle the dragon with a light, like
I'm just, like everybody focus.
lead it around. I know there are some festivals of light in Mennum where like they'll do dancing light type displays with the mirrored metal in the cities, but as far as using it tactically, aside from signaling, I don't believe so.
Mythbusters did that episode too, though.
Oh yeah, they did.
Something to look into.
They did. Forgot that. So, You move south. The spear kind of keeps tugging you along. And you kind of start to approach the edge of the fertile region. The fertile region around the cities is only like 5-10 miles.
Okay.
Thereabouts. It varies.
Like a radius?
Yeah, a radius around the city. Like, it kind of varies. Like, it's very small around Millen because Millen has a weaker furnace of creation. And there are other factors that you guys have no idea of knowing how to no knowledge of. And a lot of times, like, the fertile region will kind of bow away from, like, the shore. Like, I don't know. These are things that are known. And they wouldn't be really particularly interesting or big curiosities to your characters, but now you guys know them.
It is known.
So you start to move out of the fertile region, the spear kind of tugging you along. The ground starts to get a little rockier, the grass and vegetation looks a little rougher, deader, burned, more withered, wilted. The ground kind of starts to slope down, not like a crazy 45-degree angle, but like a nice, like, super gentle over the course of miles slope towards the water. You're walking for, I don't know, an hour or so, maybe 2. And you follow, or not walking, riding. And you see that the spear is kind of tugging you south, and there's a walled village, a walled town, outside of the fertile region, which is unusual in and of itself. But it's kind of right on the edge, like almost like it's kind of like here's where the fertile region completely stops, and it's like here.
Okay.
You know,
kind of half and half.
Yeah, sort of, and like that in and of itself is kind of unusual, but not like unheard of. Like it's kind of like why wouldn't you do it completely inside? Like it's kind of like what the fuck were you guys thinking when you founded this town hundreds of years ago?
Right. Okay.
So you're following the tugging of the spear, and you're kind of approaching this small town. The wall is just large vertical timbers from a furnace of creation buried in the earth around the town. There's a very uniform appearance to them, is what I mean when I say furnace of creation. When lumber comes out of the furnace of creation, it's all got kind of a uniform, samey, cloned appearance. Almost like the grain is the same. It's all the same dimensions, that sort of thing. The wall's solid, well cared for. There's a gate that stands open. You can see the small shapes of what are likely humans moving around the gate, inside the walls, that sort of thing. The spear is vibrating in such a way that her eye kind of pans east to west, like this, kind of like she's scanning, like looking, trying to find something. You're actually insight check for you. Go ahead and make it.
Natural 20.
Nice.
You don't think she's pointing directly at the town. Like you don't, like the way she's behaving, you don't think she's like go to that town, but you also don't think she really knows for sure where whatever she's trying to find is. So what do you guys do?
We all look at
Head to the town, go beyond the town, head to Mennum.
Yeah, head to the town.
Go back to the fortress, say fuck it.
No, we head to the town.
She doesn't know where the hell she's going.
So at this point, it's about 7 or 8. I think it was 5 or 6-ish when you were outside Mennum. The details of the town have started to resolve a little more clearly. The walls are only about 10 feet tall. The gate, while open, is a sturdy iron reinforced timbers. There aren't any. You haven't seen any like labeled signposts like you'll see trade routes and like footpaths and stuff through the desert. There aren't really roads per se, except like really right up on the city or in really affluent towns around Wasp. But there's footpaths, crowsnake paths, wagon paths. You know, there is kind of a path leading over the rocky terrain, but it's not used often. And there's no like signposts like saying Mennum this way, this place this way. You know, like.
Okay.
When you get close enough to see it, the gate and the details and everything, there's a large wooden like nameplate, I guess, above the gate, and it says Summer's End. It's kind of painted to look like a sunset on the coast. It's got black lettering in front of the sunset that says Summer's End.
Seems fitting.
And now that you're close enough to read that, you can kind of see like at the base of the wall is this ring of like ferns, like kind of thick stalked ferns with like wide, like super wide, like bigger than the palm of my hand, 3-pronged leaves, kind of like it's a fern. It's got weird leaves. There's lots of weird plant life in this planet. Anyone want to make a nature or medicine check for me?
Got it real?
Do
Plus
it.
1.
I have +0.
I don't know if mine's any better.
My medicine's +3, I guess.
You better just do it.
Alright.
I'm not saying that your roll's gonna be better, but you got a good chance.
20.
20. Yeah, I
For
didn't roll
medicine.
them.
Medicine?
I didn't roll them. He did.
Okay.
I got a 10.
Okay. So, Uriel's not a doctor, but he's seen some things. He knows some things. He can't recall the name of the plant, but like its shape and its color, because it's like a dark brownish green, but it's got like these kind of like purple edging along the very edges, and it looks kind of like sticky, like it's got like some kind of sap or resin along the edges of the fronds, and like following the contours of like the veins or whatever you want to call it on the big leaves. It's got a very can't recall the name of it, but the shape, the color, and everything. It's a plant from this area used by healers and chemists to make sedatives. You think? Think you recall that? Probably, maybe. You guys can see that there are a few teenage humans out and about among the plants on the walls. They're kind of like, they're actually like watering. Like they're actively watering these plants, which is not something you see like unless you're dealing with like crops. Like crops will irrigate from the cities and stuff, and then everyone else is really conservative about water use in the desert, especially this close to the actual desert. But these and it's not like they're dumping buckets of water, but they're like actually making an effort to make sure all these plants are hydrated. They're checking the health of the leaves, like you can see them pruning away like gray or brown spots on the leaves where they become damaged or injured or sick. Some of them are also kind of pruning particularly large leaves and kind of placing them in piles, wrapping twine around them, and like putting them in packs or satchels or whatever with them. Do you guys continue to approach? Okay.
Yeah.
I assumed. You start to approach closer, and one of the young people tending the plants notices you and kind of like a goofy smile and like a slow like kind of casual wave. She's maybe 15, 16, something like that, wearing a brown tunic, brown trousers, looks very healthy and fit. She's got a rope belt, like you know how you see like some people like just tie a rope around there. It's like it's coiled several times and then knotted around her waist like to hold up her pants. She's got sturdy brown boots on. She looks healthy and fit, a little weathered from living at the edge of the desert, but nowhere like as near as scarred and like kind of hungry looking as most desert dwellers look. She says, "Hello, travelers. Welcome to Summer's End. Be welcome." She kind of looks at you and smiles a little bit too long. And then she kind of, "Be welcome."
Summer's End's a cult. Let's go.
Make a someone make a perception check. I wish Chaser Kyle were here.
12.
12. It's not a hard one. Just roll it, do it.
20.
All right. You all notice, like, as you're talking to her pupils are about the size of a pinhead. She's high as balls. Which makes sense because the plants that she's pruning and caring for are sedatives, and she is not wearing gloves.
They're very dank.
They're very dank.
Quite dank.
Quite dank.
Chase was here.
Yes. So, she kind of laughs at the fact that she said welcome twice in a row, and she says, "Please enter the town and take your rest. Our headman Humar will be pleased to see visitors, and Marhune, his son, will be glad to see your coin in the Broken Blade," which is that place. It's a tavern. And like she kind of stares at you guys for a minute and then goes back to taking care of the plants, watering them, and like tilling the dirt, which looks a lot healthier than the other rocky terrain around it, and like just general plant care stuff.
They must use it as some sort of berry.
What's that?
They have to use it. It's just some sort of repellent
Could be.
for creatures. Why else would they grow it outside?
Could be.
You know, you'd grow it in the walls if you were harvesting it, I would imagine.
So, you go through the gate?
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. You enter the gate and you see that there are a couple young men, maybe in their 20s, kind of standing guard, ready to close and secure the gate if necessary. It's not like the Lugau stone gates, like that just like slide easily on rollers, but like it's got like a rope and pulley system where like it's pressure, it's held like pressure against a block, and they yank on a rope and it just like slams shut. And then there's another guy over here and he like throws down a bar. It's kind of, they have a system. So they're wearing the same sort of like brown tunic, brown pants, rope belt, sturdy trousers. These guys are completely unarmed and unarmored. They're just kind of standing there at the gate. They both have a large fired clay jug on a leather strap secured to their chest. Kind of like a classic like moonshine jar, like with the 3 X's on it, like dark brown, like moonshine glass. The jugs are capped with corks, and secured to the jugs by bits of twine is like a large like cup to like, you know. The youths both smile and wave when they see you. One of them says, "Travelers, greetings. Welcome to Summer's End." And that was actually how he said it. That wasn't me just stuttering. Come in, please, enter and be welcome. And he gestures over his shoulder. And he kind of aims his arm towards the Broken Blade, which is a big stone and wood inn kind of looking place. "Please," it's a 2-story building. "Please take your ease at the Broken Blade. Enjoy some food and drink while we find our headman. He'll wish to speak to you."
As soon as they're gone, like out of earshot, I say, "We're not eating anything here. We're not drinking anything."
So
So thirsty.
These guys are fucking losers.
So, as you move into, are you just gonna go with it?
Yeah, I mean we'll
Okay.
follow
All right.
along.
They don't move anywhere. They
What's
just.
my spear doing?
Did you try to turn it off again or leave it on?
No, I left it on.
All right, it's on. It's Bernie. I mean,
She's not doing anything in particular.
oh yeah, she's still panning the area, like looking south and east and west, and kind of like maybe now she's shifting to the right, like kind of gazing at the town a little bit, but
Okay.
you still don't feel like she has a good handle on where she needs to be or wants to go.
Okay.
And
The Broken Blade.
I
We
feel,
need to be here, I think.
I feel like it's worth noting that there is a reaction to seeing this big Bernie spear, but like everyone's kind of like, no one, like this is a world where magic exists,
Right.
You know, like it's not like, oh god, shit, what the fuck is
Right,
that? You
yeah,
know, like
yeah.
they're not they're country bumpkins, but they're not like
Sheltered.
Yeah, like the inn has a stove that's made with a stud, so like magic
Okay.
is not.
It's a thing that they've
They're just
seen.
kind of like, wow, that thing.
Well, that's pretty neat.
Well, god darn.
Oh darn, that's pretty fucking neat. We could use that. So as you start to move into the town, townsfolk note your presence, and they all like, "Hey, welcome, travelers." You know, it's all the same kind of like really friendly, kind of confused, like demeanor and stuff. Like they're all fucking high as balls. But you know, nobody is armed at all. Like no one is carrying so much as a belt knife. They're all wearing brown tunic, brown trousers, rope belt, sturdy boots. They all look very healthy, like well-toned, muscular, that kind of thing. From even the elderly. And actually, as you're walking through town, you can see a woman, like maybe, probably over here in this clear space, leading like maybe a dozen or two kids. Kind of like they're all doing jumping jacks and like sit-ups and push-ups and like calisthenics and that kind of stuff, like general like exercise type stuff. So those ferns that you saw ringing the outside of the wall, like they're all over the place in here. Like every house has a planter of them. Every business has a planter of them. Like these are potato and corn crops, and there's also a section of the fields that is for those ferns, you know. And like as you look in, like this isn't the exact dimensions of the town. Like assume it extends a little bit further in every direction.
Yeah.
This is the main center. Like along the walls, you can see like racks and drying racks for like tanned hides and leather, as well as those ferns like drying in the air and like that being cured and that kind of thing, being packaged up in twine and paper and like organized into crates and stuff. Which would make sense if they're used as a sedative, because they would be very valuable to clinics and physicians in the cities. Like magic does some things, but it doesn't. There's no spell that stops pain, I don't think. But a sedative is handy for that. So, there are a bunch of small residential type buildings scattered around within the walls. Some look lived in. Some have people moving around them. All these little smaller buildings are meant to represent that. You know, some of them look like multi-person, like family homes. Others look like a bachelor or a widower or a widow or something like that. You know, they're all, you know, solid. They're all well kept. Nothing is run down. Some stuff looks abandoned, but not like stuff looks abandoned in Saginaw, where like both doors are broken and all the windows are boarded over. You know, it's someone is caring for it. It's just not inhabited. You know,
Okay.
that kind of vibe.
Something's going on. Yeah, for sure.
So most of the adult townsfolk and older teenagers have kind of a dreamy smile on their faces, and their waves and hellos are kind of slow and unfocused. You can see that in older people, they kind of look like they've imbibed, but they're more resilient to the effects. Like they just look kind of chill. They're not like, you know, and like kids are just like the kids that aren't teenagers are just kids. Like they're running around, getting under everyone's feet, like playing games, making noise, trying to shirk chores, that sort of thing. So here is a tower. Just like every other tower in a town around Mennum, it's about 4 stories tall, made of stone. Very sturdy door, but there's no like signaling plate of metal at the top of it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cut off. On purpose or by choice?
Right here, signified by this flame, is a huge 15 by 15 hearth. It's all made of fired clay, bricks, and stone, and it occupies a space about 15 by 15 feet. The cavernous opening on the front of the hearth shows like stacked piles of firewood, followed by piles and piles of packets of those dried leaves, the ferns that have been dried out, and they're just resting there. You can see like there's flint and steel there as well, tinder. It's all piled like in preparation for starting a fire very quickly. The hearth doesn't have like a conventional chimney. It has like kind of a rounded top, and then it's got vents, I guess, coming out on the like sides of it, like about chest height, maybe head height, depending on how tall you are. What?
I don't like this place. It's all fucky.
Facebook. Sorry. My wife texted me. My wife texted me. I should see what she wants. Meyer doesn't have any cabbage, in case anyone's curious.
That seems bad.
No!
Heather loves cabbage. I do not. We still make it work.
Darn.
It's all about compromise.
It's all about compromise. So, there's that. There's the Tavern, the Broken Blade. It's a large 2-story building. It's in very good repair. Like it's not like super fancy, but it's in very good repair. It's very well cared for. Someone spends a lot of time, like making sure the paint job's nice and good looking. The windows are glass, I think, clean. It's got a little porch with an awning over it with like tables, like you see at some restaurants where they have like an outside patio. It's kind of like that kind of setup outside in front of it on a porch.
Okay.
There's evenly spaced out windows on the second floor, kind of like gives you the vibe of like, oh, there's a 10 foot by 10 foot space. That's a room. That's a room. That's a room. That's a room. They all have curtains drawn over them. On the inside, not on the outside. That would be weird and unusual. You think looking at the size of the place, you estimate it's probably got about 15 rooms on the second floor. There's also a forge over here. You can see like the forge smoking away and like hear someone clanking on an anvil.
Is that guy high?
Maybe. You have to talk to him. So, what do you want to do? Go right up to the Broken Blade?
Might as well.
All right. Stand around. Ask people for the drugs.
No, I don't want to do that.
Are you sure?
Specifically don't want to do
You don't want to
that.
get high? Okay.
Maybe we'll just get a little high.
What is... Oh, shit, I can't think of his name. What's Chase's character's name? Canathar. Jeez, oh, Pete. What's he doing? How is he taking all this in?
He's intrigued. It's not a dankness that he gets dank with, but he can respect different tastes. I think that's what Chase would say if he were here.
Understandable.
And like, you got a medicine check. You didn't get a nature check. All right, never mind. Getting confused. So you approach the Broken Blade. Very good shape. No paint. No patched or peeling paint. Can't fucking talk. The paint on the sign isn't patched or peeling. The windows are glass with iron supports. They're clean. There's a roofed porch, like I said. I've said all this. Why am I going to be saying it? There's a trough as well that Crowsank could drink from. There's a spot to like out in front, like hitching post in a trough.
There's no other wagons?
No,
we're the only.
No. Over here, it looks like it might be a stable type building. It's got a couple like Crowsank out in a corralled pen, but they look like really fat, like they're eating Crowsank rather than like skinny like
Working
Crowsank that are for riding. They look fat. Your Crowsank look muscular, like they are built, like they look hardy and robust. Those look fat for eating, if that makes sense.
It does. All right.
I forgot to mention that. So, before you can even really get up on the porch, where is it here? A balding human steps out from the front door. You hear a bell ding on the door as he does so. He's wearing the same brown trousers, tunic, and all that as everyone else, but he's got like a white apron on. It's a clean apron. Like it's had stains in the past, but it's clean. It's clean. It's not fresh stains. He's washed it. He's laundered it. I love the just like the
This is a...
No. Nope. He's maybe in his like mid to late 20s. And he's as fit as everyone else. Like he's not a fat baker running an inn, He says, "Hello, travelers. I'm Marhune. I run the Broken Blade here. Welcome to Summer's End. Come on in. Sit for a bit. Take your ease." And he kind of gestures at the porch or inside, and I'll bring water out in just a moment.
I want to go inside.
All right. Go inside?
I think we should check and see what's inside.
Okay, you go inside. Oh, okay. Come on in. He thought I gestured to the porch.
Whatever. It's way more... Usually it's more work to get people in here.
That one says it's hot out there.
That's a fair point, traveler. Oh, God, where is it? Where did I put all my information on the inn? Okay, there it is, inside the Broken Blade. You step into the Broken Blade, and it's a pretty simple place. It smells of cooking stew, like Crowsank stew. A smell you'd be very familiar with. It's not run down, just very much a rural country tavern inn. Everything's sturdy and workmanlike. There's no like fancy woodwork or like crown molding or gold or brass plates over everything. It's all just wood and stone. Sturdy, well made, but not fancy. There's a very simple chandelier made of like 2 crossed iron bars with like glow globes put on them, hanging from the ceiling. There's a rope tying it to like the balcony on the 2nd level. The main floor is wide open space. It's full of a dozen tables with chairs around them. There's a bar behind it. You can see kind of like a kitchen type area. Looks like a normal kitchen. It's got a big metal stew pot, kind of like suspended over like a clay brick with a stud in it. The only odd thing about the kitchen is you can see like in a corner near the stove is a metal pipe kind of coming down from the ceiling, and then there's more metal pipes and more metal pipes and more metal pipes, and they come to about head height if you were standing in front of them.
You alright?
Yeah.
So, where are we here? Sorry, I should have reviewed this a little bit better to figure out where everything was that I needed. Okay. So, Marhune kind of goes behind the bar. He grabs some clay jugs and some cups of water, and he doesn't have ice or anything, but he pours you all glasses of water, and he's kind of still smiling and says, please sit a spell, enjoy refreshment. My father, Humar, is the headman of our town, and he'll be along shortly to speak with you, I'm sure.
What did he say his name was?
His name's Marhune. His father's Humar.
Okay, I thought they were saying the same thing at first. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's me, not you.
Okay. News of travelers travels quick in our small town. If you've the appetite for something stronger than water, I can accommodate. We brew a beer in the basement, but it has quite a kick, so moderation is wise.
Water's fine for now, thank you.
Okay.
No.
All right.
I scanned the room.
It's empty. There's no one in here right now.
I scanned the walls and everything for anything peculiar, and I also see what my spear is doing.
I'm still kind of panning around. But it is...
I tried to mentally communicate with the spear, saying, come on, you gotta give me more than this to go on. I don't know what I'm looking for.
You get a vibe of she's frustrated. She's frustrated right now.
Yeah, me too.
Does it look like people like come in here?
Oh yeah. There are like scrapes on the floors where like chairs have been pushed around and
I
stuff.
guess that-
And like
there's
there's
like lived in, I guess.
Yeah,
People been
it
dragged
looks-
against their will.
There's like claw marks. Yeah.
there's claw marks. There's fingernails all over the woodwork. So, do you guys want anything else? Marhune says.
Do you mind if I check out the quarters? We may stay a night.
Oh, of
I'd
course.
like to
Go
see
right
them.
on up. They're all unlocked.
Normal.
Well, I don't have any visitors, and there's nothing to steal.
Oh, I mean, like, if I go up and they're all normal, like, it's not like
Yeah. The only oddity, like, let me get an actual description so I don't contradict myself. They're you go in, you open one. They're unlocked. They're clean. They're 10 foot by 10 foot. Mattresses, kind of. Do you like lift up a mattress and like?
Yeah, I was thinking like I look under like the beds and stuff.
The mattresses are a little aged, but they're nice and soft, relatively speaking. They're clean. It's a very simple 10 foot by 10 foot room. There's like a chest, like if you want to store clothing or belongings in. There's nothing in that. There's a bedside table. Each bed, beside each bed, it's got a candle and a flint and steel on it. There's a wooden wash tub and a bar of soap in each room. It's not like a bathtub, but it's like a place you could stand up and drip and like soap yourself up and like rinse yourself off with a towel and that sort of thing.
Wash the blood off.
Wash the blood off, of course. Next to the head of each bed is like a tube that comes out of the wall. And do you like try to look in it? Try to look down it.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, you get up close to it and you can kind of hear like Marhune clanking around in the kitchen, like talking to them asking what their business is and that sort of thing.
Okay, so maybe it's like a wake-up call. You know, they shout into it, right? You know,
Could be.
10:30.
Or it's how they send the spiders to get you.
Or, you know, they put sedatives through there and then they come up and get you while you're in bed.
It's possible. Anything is possible.
So, like, is there like cabinets or anything? You know, like, is there like a chest? I don't know, like a footlocker.
Do you want? There's a footlocker, yes.
You know, like if I were to look for if I was somebody that wanted to leave or was in a weird situation, I would stash something like under a drawer or something. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like to be found maybe later.
Okay.
I want to look in that spot. You know what I mean? I don't know what's exactly in the room, but like, you know, like the underside of a stool or something, like carved into it. You know, like help. You know, I don't know.
God, I love where your head's at.
I don't know. The whole thing.
You
They're
don't
all
find
dressed
anything.
the same. It's weird and odd.
The one thing you do notice is that like these blackout curtains that are on the inside of these rooms cut out like all of the light. Like if you were here at night and you did not have a lamp on, it would be nice and pitch black. And you actually feel like the curtain is so thick that on the window that it's really like cutting down on a lot of the noise from outside of like people doing jumping jacks and like the smith hammering away and the crowsank hissing and farting next door. You know, it's it's the desert, so it's stiflingly hot, but it's peaceful, I guess. Like you can fall asleep pretty easy in here, I think. Except for the heat, but that's everywhere in this.
That's why they pump the sedatives in.
Probably.
Puts you to sleep way easier.
Yes, it does.
All right, I'm going back downstairs.
Okay.
I'm done.
All right.
Here.
So Marhune is talking to you guys. He's like, "What brings you to Summer's End? We don't get many travelers, but we like to accommodate those we do."
Spirit told me I should come.
That's a weird thing to say.
He's old. You can see.
I can see.
He's quite beside himself. We've been traveling a while.
Ah,
We're taking him to the shore to put him down. Is that direction the shore?
it is south.
We're
of here.
heading shore direction.
You're heading towards the shore, yes.
I don't know.
Not many go to the shore.
Yeah, it was one of his last wishes.
Okay.
To see the shore.
That's. I got some stuff to do in the kitchen.
All right. You run a very nice establishment. It's very
Thank you. We don't get many travelers.
acceptable upstairs.
We don't get many travelers, but we like to have a nice place to stay.
What?
Just ask what the
No.
whole.
Then he knows we're onto him.
Like the tubes are not concealed. Like it's not under a blanket.
I don't know. They rely on that awkwardness to not ask for it to work.
That's how they get you.
They don't want to seem like the only guy that doesn't know what the tubes are for.
It's like the seashells in Demolition Man. Marhune says, "Are you all right, traveler? You seem a little uncomfortable."
I think the comfort is making me uncomfortable. I'm so used to the desert. It's change of pace. It's welcomed.
Why are you all wearing the same thing?
Oh, he looks like well, we're
All right, we're not a cult, but
we're socialists. So we all wear. No man is above another man or woman, so we wear the same clothing. We share communal wealth. It's a whole. Talk to my father about it.
Okay.
It's a whole big thing.
I considered that when.
Does he sound like he doesn't buy into it?
It's it's not so much that he doesn't buy into it. You feel like, well,
He's been prosecuted by it before. Used to.
you don't know him well enough to figure out how he feels about it.
Sorry if I'm blunt with the questioning, but I'm just a feeble old man. He looks as he
I don't have
as he
long
looks
left.
at. I apparently don't have long left.
That's Pop. You know, things were different.
He chuckles. He kind of chuckles when Donald says that. Do you, I am in the industry of customer service. Is there anything I could do to make you feel more at ease? I'm sure I can track down a pamphlet.
What town has pamphlets? That's weird.
Oh, I was making a joke.
Is there anything of note in this town? Anything peculiar other than
Well,
the fact that you're socialist? Which I don't know about my friends here, but I don't care.
Tell us about the furnace.
tell us about the ferns. Is that what you said?
Furnace.
Furnace? Oh, God, I'm losing track of
It's
it.
quite striking. It's like the focal point of your town almost.
He kind of grins and he says, "Well, we're socialists and we're pacifists. We don't believe we've no love of weapons here in Summer's End. Mennum was founded by warriors from the last field. I'm sure you know this. Everyone knows that. But we believe for the longest time that violence begets more violence, so we abstain as much as we can. I'm sure you'll find a blade or two, or a knife, or some child who has a sharp piece of metal. But we abstain as much as we can. We rely on the walls and other methods for defending the village.
As my glowing, flaming spear is.
We don't judge outsiders, of course. Every man has to live with himself. And there starts to be a little bit of pride in his voice as he says, we rely on our telemock crops for defense mostly. Usually it's only bugs that have anything to fear from the ferns. Touching the resin they secrete isn't particularly harmful to your average man or woman or Goliath, and we're mostly immune to it by the time we're grown. But beasts of the desert and the occasional raider or flesh eater aren't. I'm sure you saw, we've got those boys on the gates with jugs of liquor heavily dosed with telemock resin that they can, offer a friendly, drink to any traveler that looks a bit too dangerous. Or if someone comes at us with blade drawn, we just splash it any nose, mouth, eyes, any mucous membrane that it gets in. Good for us.
That's totally what those pipes are for.
If someone or something actually comes for us with violence already in mind, like if someone storms the gate itself, the hearth there, we just fire it up and we burn all the ferns and they've been dried and prepared for that purpose. In minutes, the whole town, I've seen it before, the whole town is blanketed in telemac resin smoke, fern smoke. I don't know what you call it. I'm not the herbalist. And if we're talking about a beast from the desert, like a dragon or a rabid crowsank, or not a rabid crowsank, you don't need a rabid crowsank, but if it's an actual beast from the desert, we butcher it after it passes out. If we're talking about humanoid attackers, we steal their weapons and armor, leave them enough food and water to get to Mennum, and we call it good. And obviously we throw them out of the gate. We don't leave them in the square. And he kind of sighs and looks pained for a moment before saying, "I'll not lie. It's not foolproof, and we have suffered for our pacifism at times. And every few years, a new crop of youth decides that there's a better way, and things could be done different. But I sleep well at night, and I don't have the weight of having to worry about spilling on another man's entrails to defend myself. And you'll find most of those living here feel the same way."
Why is this place called the Broken Blade?
Pacifism. like he's kind of like pacifism. Like.
All right.
Why is this place called Summer's End?
Because the summer is never ending, and wouldn't it be nice if it would?
Oh.
All right.
Like, wouldn't it be
Disappointing answers.
Funny you bring that up.
Wouldn't it be nice if it was fall? Like, fall used to be a thing. Like, it would cool off a little.
Yeah, those are legends.
I know.
This not proven.
I don't know. There's been rain lately.
I wonder who caused that.
Crazy, right?
So, any more questions for Marhune? Any more? Do you want to make fun of his way of life anymore and call him a cultist?
A little, but not to his face.
Do you want to ask him about the tubes?
I want to ask him about the mirror. Did they take it down themselves, or?
Yeah, we learned early on that signaling Mennum just brings enforcers and little blades to our town. And that means taxes and violence. We took the mirror down. Oh, I don't even know when. I remember sitting on my grandfather's knee and asking him about it, and he said it had been taken down decades before his time, so I'm sure it's still around, but it's been put to more practical use, I think.
Okay. Where's your dad? Where's your father reside?
I don't probably one of the houses. He points out the door.
I mean, like, he doesn't have, like, a... Oh, yeah, no other standing, right?
This house. He lives in this house.
He has a small house like everybody else, even though he's the mayor.
Yeah. This house is bigger because it's got a 6-person family.
Makes sense.
That's a 6-person family house. They traded out. Wouldn't be fit. Some people marry and they have kids and there's bigger families and people grow up and move to different households.
Yeah. It makes sense.
No, it all makes sense according to your culture.
Do you want to ask about the tubes?
I ask him about the tubes.
Yes.
I want to know.
You want to know? I can't tell you. I'd have to kill you.
I believe him.
Oh, God. What did I write? I wrote something. I can't find it.
Okay, bye.
All right. Can we talk about this outside?
You've won a free night stay.
Oh, God. Did I write something? I don't remember. I wrote something. Anyway, Marhune smiles and says, pretty ingenious, right? Instead of ringing bells at all hours, guests can just speak clearly down a tube. And I can bring them up food or linen. If I'm in earshot of the kitchen, you know. He seems like pretty proud of himself. You feel like he's the one that, like, this is an installation he did on his own. Like, this wasn't something that he inherited as the person who runs the inn.
Pretty smart. Never seen anything like that before.
I know, it's pretty neat, Thank you. And you notice that, like maybe his pupils are a little bit smaller than, like, yours, but, like, he's not, like
out of his gourd.
Yeah, like, he's speaking clearly, concisely. His motions are not exaggerated.
So I'm assuming the reason they can bombard the town is because they have a resistance to the shit that they built up.
He, I believe, said as much. I think.
And at least somebody doesn't pass out.
Yeah.
I want to talk to these guys, but, like, out of earshot of Marhune.
Okay. My father will be along shortly, I'm sure. He goes back into the kitchen and he kind of pokes and prods at the stew pot and pours a little salt in, maybe a little more pepper, stirs a little, taste it.
Alright, guys, so my spirit led me here. It doesn't know what the fuck it's looking for. I don't know what I'm looking for. I kind of think we should just be blunt and ask if there's anything interesting here. My spirit's got to be looking for something. It knows something's here.
Well, if it's called Summer's End, something happened here.
Exactly.
He might think it's because it's a nice summer would end, but they have to have a story for outsiders.
All this seems well and good, but
Maybe we try to go talk to his father.
cults are supposed to be convincing.
What I need to ask you guys is if we might just have to be straightforward with these people and straight up ask. Are you guys okay with that if it comes to that?
Yep.
Hey,
At the very least, we can murder them all. At the very worst, I mean, sorry.
Worst case scenario, they send us on their way with food and water.
Yeah, but they might take your spear.
Oh, I'll come back for it. They can try to destroy it.
Ah, yes, that's true.
Like, good luck.
That's true.
But if you have a magical spear, they might see a different way. A new era. Alright, yeah, let's
Alright, let's go find this
talk
guy.
to Pops.
Okay. So you hear the bell door. The bell door ding.
The doorbell?
Yeah, the bell over the door. Ding. Ring, whatever.
Shit.
Um,
Is that what it's called? Doorbell?
what?
Is that where the name comes from for the thing on the front of your house?
Fucking mind blown.
So,
Damn.
you see two older men step in through the door. And when the bell rang as the door opened, Marhune looked up and he smiles and he says, "Father, Comaven, hello. Got some travelers here, obviously. Travelers, this is my father, Humar, the headman of our town, and this is Comaven. And there's a kind of a little bit of a pause after he says Comaven, like he's about to say more, but then he just closes his mouth and kind of goes back to what he's doing. And Humar has like a shaved head, long black beard streaked with gray. Looks to be about 40. Same general vibe as everyone else. Fit, healthy, brown rope, sturdy boots. Looking at him, you can clearly see the familial resemblance between him and Marhune. He's followed by another man of a similar age. Again, fit, healthy-looking, brown boots, belt, etc. This man's clean-shaven, has a shaved head. Humar, the guy with the beard, kind of up, holds up a hand in greeting, approaches you guys and holds out a large, calloused hand for shaking and has a smile and says, "Greetings, travelers." And Komovin kind of stands back behind him and as my son said, I'm Humar, the fool in charge of this place, and hands are shook and looks a thumb over his shoulder at the other older man and says, "This is Komovin." Marhune kind of gives you all Marhune doesn't say that because you're not on the porch. Humor smiles and nods at his son and God, where the fuck am I?
We can be on the porch if that helps.
No, we're not on the porch. We're not on the porch. This is happening in railroad. I can't be a railroad.
I don't want to be on the porch.
So, Humar says, "Now, travelers, I'm sure Marhune has been talking your ear off a bit about us here at Summer's Rest, and I don't want to come down hard on you and make you think I'm some rural fool drunk on power, but I do like to be forthright with guests. We don't do violence here. I won't insult you by asking for your blades and weapons and such. I'm not foolish enough to believe that peace bonds on scabbards would do anything practical beyond slow you down for a couple seconds. I just ask that you keep the peace while you're here. If you're feeling particularly respectful, I'd ask you to leave the big flamey burny spear, the ice encrusted spear, and your other weapons in your rooms if you're going to be out and about among us. We've no jail, we've no irons to clap you in. I just ask that you respect non-violence within these walls." Now there's a bit here about Smoog and Hargar, but they're not with us today. Humar didn't seem particularly tense while he was explaining the rules here. But he's kind of waiting expectantly to hear what you guys say in response to this.
My friends will gladly put their weapons in their room. But, you see, without my spear, I am but a blind man. She leads me.
Now we sound like a cult.
I mean, I can't stop you from not having it with you.
Well, what my friend, his spear is very near and dear to his heart, and he's went through a lot to get it, and he's been through a lot with it. It would make him feel comfortable to carry it with him, but he's a very level-headed man, and he will keep the peace.
Oh, okay. I have no way to enforce the rules. I said my piece.
Maybe we could convince him to leave the fire behind.
Does it turn off at least?
It's
okay.
harmless.
I try to mentally turn her off.
It's harmless.
Make a charisma check.
It's a harmless flaming spear with an eye on it.
Do you try to say anything to her? Like, hey, we need subtlety at the moment? Or,
Yeah.
okay, she got like a 19 on her insight, so she picked up what you're laying down pretty well.
Okay.
She's kind of like, she's reluctant about it, but like the molten metal look of the blade starts like inching away from the edges and coalescing around the stud. And like,
I tell her
it kind of looks like the stud kind of like the red stud, like the eye slit in it kind of closes up like when she's about to turn off, but like it's kind of like when you're like
You can tell somebody still has their eyes open.
like your eye, you could like you can almost see like the eyeballs twitching under the eyelid, like they're she's feigning sleep.
okay, so like I try to get that across from her, like we need subtlety, but let me know if you see what you're looking for.
You get a sense that she will make you aware. Just fucking, I love that spear. Okay. So, Humar, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And you can see like a little bit of tension, like maybe at like the his temples, like in his eyes, like a little extra crinkle there, kind of eases away. And he says, now that that's out of the way, what brings you travelers here? We don't get very many visitors.
Archaeologists. We're archaeologists.
Oh, okay.
Herbert here. Herbert's with us, correct? Herbert, tell him what we're abouts.
We're archaeology.
Archaeology. I like to think that he says it just like that.
Humor goes,
He has many tomes and he studies.
Are you looking at the ravines south of town?
Ravines. Yes. What do you know of these ravines that we also know of?
There are ravines. Caves have been found.
Anything of note?
He looks,
As we're talking about these ravines, I look at my spear to see if its eyes open a little bit, like,
It's like smoldering.
Ravines? Is that ringing any bells?
well, I mean, she wouldn't remember it because she was dead and then cut apart, and
I
then...
know, but I am scraping here for you.
Unless this is where she was cut apart. At Summer's End.
He looks, kind of awkward and, ravines? I know there are ravines. Komovin? Komovin steps forward and rests a hand on Humar's shoulder and he says, there have been cave paintings found in the ravines, but, we don't go much in for the archaeology. We mostly concern ourselves with harvesting the telemac plants and shipping them off to the cities for resources. We have Talon. Talon? Is her name Talon? Just a moment. Bye. Her name's Talon. Her name is Talon, or Talon, whichever. Talon, she's not a hunter per se, but she does... A scout. I think a scout would be a more appropriate term. She keeps an eye on the wildlife around us. She She should be back tomorrow, I think, from Mennum, bringing a shipment of coin. We just sent off a shipment of leaves. She knows the area around Summer's End fairly well. She might be able to have some ideas about the ravines.
Oh, that would be helpful. Somebody who knows the area could aid us in finding things of interest.
We're looking for
So we'd have to spend
artifacts, I guess you'd say. Anything of...
I have to say, you don't look like artifact hunters. He looks like a historian. You look like murderers.
We are slightly. The relationship began as a hired muscle deal, but we have become close.
That's true, Herbert says.
That's implying the rest is a lie.
That's true.
The murder thing is very circumstantial.
Oh shit.
Humar and Coleman both look like super awkward right now. like what? Who are these guys?
His son.
What do they want?
Told me he was dying.
So.
Oh lord.
So anyway.
Yeah.
Heading out to the coast ways.
Okay. They're like, I don't think they know what to say to you guys.
I don't think we know what to say to them.
Well-
we await Talon's return. Thank you for the warm welcome.
Please, make yourselves,
Scarce.
please leave soon.
Be less weird. You're
All
freaking
right.
people out.
So, if you have anything, if you need anything, if you have any questions, we'll be out and about in the town, working alongside everyone else. Just find us if you need anything.
Thank you.
We don't have a market really. So I doubt if you need metalwork repaired, Talon, I'm sure you heard his forge pounding away. He might be able to offer you some services if you need any metal work done. But aside from that, I don't think there's much that would interest.
Is it from
Unless
besides
you have pretty
your
tough competition
names?
with us.
What?
I said, I don't know, your blacksmith would have pretty tough competition against our blacksmith.
It's true. And they kind of make an awkward
No, I don't actually say that.
Okay.
Like,
No, they're just like, oh, okay. Are we done?
sucks.
Can we please go? Have social niceties been performed enough that we can flee? So they go. Marhune is just pointlessly cleaning a glass that's perfectly clean as he's been staring at this clusterfuck of conversation.
Just a train wreck. I want to look away, but I can't.
All right.
Oh man,
That was a conversation.
that
he
was
says.
something.
that was awkward.
Yes.
Took that tension with a spear.
We're archaeology.
We are archaeology.
Herbert's not accustomed to being the face of the group unless it's actually about research.
I think we'll walk around your town and take in the town.
Do you want rooms?
Yes, we'll take rooms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Just the one room.
One 10-foot by 10-foot space.
I want my own room.
2, 3, I don't know. How many you got?
I have about, I don't know off the top of my head, but I know he's got about 12, 15, thereabouts.
We'll take three
we
rooms.
want 3 then.
3 adjoining rooms.
3 adjoining rooms. Done. There's only one bed in each of them.
4.
Cuddle buddies.
Oh, you get Herbert then.
7. Whatever.
I'm the biggest.
Okay.
No, 5. Herbert gets his own room. The rest of the 3 that aren't here have to fucking share.
All right.
They can sleep long ways on the bed.
Spooning.
Oh my god. Such fun. Well, that's just great. We'll call it a gold per room per night. You know.
Oh, you think because you're the only place around here, you can charge whatever you want?
Well, that includes food.
I'm just kidding.
That seems more than fair.
I feel like that's.
It's fair.
I've read economic journals from
This
Mennum.
is-
Like that's the going rate.
This is desert humor. You didn't get it.
Oh.
It's very dry. It's another desert joke. You did.
I mean, I included I included the friends and family discount. Wink. Just don't tell my father, because they'll start lecturing me about how it's not right for me to deny the community the resources were provided by travelers by staying at the inn.
Am I now getting the feeling that it doesn't buy it?
Thank you, Margaret.
So you guys go up to him. He says, "The stew will be done in about an hour or so, hour and a half thereabouts." So
Sounds good.
everyone comes into the Broken Blade for dinner. We have a whole communal town eating situation. If you're looking to talk to people, that'd probably be a good time. If you're looking to ask anyone about the ravines that you're archaeologying.
I know it's tough to pronounce. It's okay.
So, the rooms are as described when he went up and investigated them.
There's no help messages.
Except for
scratching the bottom.
Herber's. A monster jumps out of it and eats Herber, and now he's dead.
Came out of the tube.
Came out of the tube. It's a slinky. It's a slinky made of slime.
Slinky.
Slinky. All right. So, do you want to go out and about in the town? Do you want to just wait till everyone's here and talk to them? Do you want to break into someone's home, find evidence of the cult?
Don't want to do that. Don't want to do that.
Seems like if we find out, then they'll have that weird hostile moment where everybody looks at us at the same time.
They'll just gas us, and
Yeah, and it's over.
it's like in a video game when you get caught. You just restarted the checkpoint.
We should just be pleasant.
Just outside of the town again.
Oh, hey, look at that town.
What do you guys do?
Dinner's about an hour away.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll just hang out till dinner, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make a point to
I'll nap a knife or two,
cram
whatever I can in that time.
things into my tube.
Like what? Clothing?
Yeah.
Okay. Your dick? Is it your dick?
It's not.
No.
I don't do any of that.
Okay.
Hey, I think there's something jammed in my tube. Could you get it out?
Okay, so an hour passes. It's now around 9 in the evening-ish, I think. You can hear the sounds of people starting to make noise in the tavern. Have you guys been doing anything productive or just sitting and staring at walls?
What is peering out the window like this?
Yes, excellent. So, some of you can hear Marion speaking up through your speaking tubes, and he says, "Stew's almost set to go, friends. Inn's starting to fill up. It might be wise to come on down and find a table or two. You can have it yourselves." You hear nothing.
I continue to leer out the window.
You guys go down, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You notice that Turok isn't anywhere to be found. He's not out in the hallway with you, strangely.
You're real. You heard from Turok?
No, he hasn't said anything. Maybe we should check out him.
Maybe he's just sleeping.
Why?
Should we let him get his rest, or should someone go up and talk to him?
I mean, Herbert says it would be rude not to bring him down to dinner. He's a big, growing boy.
Recalling his paranoia from earlier, I go check out him.
Okay. You find Turok out the window.
Time to eat stew.
Alright.
Okay.
Did you not hear through the tube? You call us?
You see, every piece of clothing he owns, crammed up in around the tube or by his bed. Oh, God.
I don't trust him.
So, do you guys bring weapons and armor and stuff downstairs with you?
No.
I bring my spear,
Okay.
but I'm I'm really playing up the old man using it as a
Okay.
walking cane type thing.
Nice.
Mine's just a hilt, so.
Yeah. Hey, no violence, right? I just carry this as a statement.
The broken blade.
It's a broken blade. Whoa!
This guy eats for free.
So meta!
I like your style, dude.
So,
I had your blacksmith just cut it right off.
Smoog and Hardar are fine. Karnan's fine. Everyone eats, yeah. God, there were so many dragon things in this scenario. So you mosey downstairs, and the inn is indeed starting to fill up. Maybe 15 or so adults in the large room. A dozen or so kids, like 10 or 11 years old, that kind of range, running back and forth, like throwing stuff, screaming, squealing, like chasing each other, that kind of thing. Very cliche, rural, like evening community meal thing kind of going on here. You don't see Humar or Komovan anywhere, but you recognize other faces that you saw while you were walking through. Like, you see, like, one of the gate guys over there. There's that 16-year-old girl you saw, like, first met. And, like, there's the guy that was, you know, watching you carefully as you were walking. And, you know, like, you see familiar faces. Like, as well as strangers, because you didn't see everyone in the town. Everyone is wearing that same brown tunic and trouser and belt and boot combo. Everyone looks well fit and well fed and healthy. The adults all, like, almost universally scowl at Domhnall with his spear. Some of them are a little, like, kind of, oh, when they see him limping. But most of them are like, you guys, everyone kind of waves, smiles, hello, travelers, you know, like, greetings, hello, welcome, you know, that kind of stuff. Just general friendliness. No one really tries to engage you, like it's not like everyone comes up to you and, like, starts demanding your life story, except for the kids. And as you guys push a couple tables together to fit your party, about a dozen, like, maybe a dozen and a half 10-year-olds just, like, swarm you guys. Are you guys from the deserts? Do you have swords? Have you ever killed anyone? Is that a spear? Are you a Goliath? Are those... No, that doesn't count because there aren't any dragons. What are the cities like? Can you tell us a desert story? And one kid's just, like, staring at Turok, like more like... just runs. It's gone.
I kind of want to tell the kids a story about Razor Storm killed, like, my entire family.
Tell me a story! No, tell me a story!
They already hate
Yeah,
me.
so one time we were just walking through the desert, and then everybody died.
What?
Blades from the sky. Razor Storm.
Mom, he's lying!
I pretend to eat him.
Okay, he runs away. Alright. So, do you guys actually engage the children, or do you just, like, no, leave us alone? Like,
Yeah, I'll be friendly with
okay,
them. Like,
alright.
you know.
You tell the kid, you talk to the kids. They have stupid questions. They want to know about your armor and your swords and where you got them, and, you know, like, what's the desert like? Have you ever seen a dragon? You know, what's a jester hound? Do they have soft fur? Have you ever fought a hungry cactus? Like all that kind of, like, just all that nonsense, just like kid stuff. So anyway, after about a half hour of this, Marhun starts serving everyone. And he starts with you guys, and he kind of shoos all the children away, and then starts strategically, like, serving their parents to keep the kids engaged while you guys are trying to eat. So, like, the kids don't come, like, rushing back to, like, hassle you while you're trying to eat. Kind of gives you guys a thumbs up. The stew is, assuming you eat it, good and hearty. The portions are just, like, huge. Nice, solid wooden bowls, very large, very filling. The crowshank meat just kind of falls apart in your mouth. It's got peas and potatoes and a couple little diced carrots in it and stuff. It's served with a chunk of dark, hard bread that just, like, soaks up the stew and stew broth very, very nicely. It's very tasty.
Sounds good.
That sounds good.
So, you know, things go on. Everyone eats. Like, again, no one really engages you. Sometimes kids, like, kind of you get that belt off the dead guy? Is that a sword scabbard? Do you have a knife? How many people have you killed?
You know how bad I want to kill this kid's knife? My obsidian dagger, which is like legit canon what I do, but...
So, the sun is starting to fall, and you can see, like for a while now, like, stragglers have been kind of, like, leaving the inn and stuff, and eventually, everyone's gone. It's just you guys and Marhume. Marhume's starting to kind of clean and rearrange, and maybe you guys are talking about, you know, who this Talon chick is, and you know, that kind of thing. Did you ask anyone? Like, no one really engaged you, but did you guys engage anyone during dinner? Like, were you like, hey, have you met Talon? Can you tell us about the ravines? Did anything like that happen?
I'd say I asked about the ravines.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are ravines. Kids are always trying to get into them. There have been paintings in some, but they're not like nearly as impressive as like the Sunless Ravine, which is probably like 100, 150 feet deep in spots. This is like maybe 30, 40, 50 feet, 30 to 50 feet deep in some spots. And it's pretty easy. Like, it's a pretty even slope in. And like, you know, it all filled up with water during the weird fucking rains that happened a while ago. But it quickly drained off. No one's really been in since, because like with the rains being a thing, no one wants to be in there when the rains are happening. So like they haven't been in there since, but like it has been reported that there are some caves that have like paintings and stuff and that sort of thing in
Well,
them.
there was a way to predict those rains.
That sure would be handy, I reckon.
So yeah, like, is there anything of archaeological significance in those caves that you think would
Just like the cave paintings. But I mean, those could be gone with the water.
Do you know what was represented in the cave paintings before?
Well, I had a cousin who went out into the ravines. He said it was hunting, like a lot of hunting paintings and stuff. And I think fire and that kind of stuff.
The fire thing seems promising
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah, I mean, cave paintings are. It's like there's like three things. There's like fire, hunting, and people.
It's kind of how cave paintings go.
I don't know. I don't know that much about cave paintings, obviously, but
Herbert does. He agrees with Tarak's assessment. And
they're pretty crude.
True.
Any talk of like artifacts? I guess. I don't know.
I mean, like, most artifacts are tools and sharp weapons and stuff. Like, we don't
Things you don't really.
We don't use weapons.
Right. So, like, if you guys did find a weapon out there, it'd still be out there because you just leave it.
Yeah, I mean, what's the point of bringing a spear back here? We don't use spears.
I don't know, maybe a museum or...
It doesn't seem like there's anything in this town. I think the ravine's probably your next best bet.
Probably. Unless it's in Inverness.
So,
I mean, we can look at that on our way out.
Yeah. I'm fine
so
with
it's 9 o'clock in real time. Do we want to keep going, or do you want to stop?
We're okay to go for a
that.
little
I'm good.
longer.
I'm good
You
for
guys are.
tomorrow. Yeah, I don't got anything going on.
Okay.
You're the one
All right.
to work. You know.
Do we need to take a break?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm still good.
All right, Andrew.
All right. So, yeah, you talked to a couple people about the ravines and stuff, and it's generally the same kind of thing. There were cave paintings, maybe like pots. Nothing that screams like Lujgao. You know, like nothing like, oh, there's this invulnerable black wall of black stone in one of them. You know, nothing like that.
Right.
But like it seems like there is some documentation of some of the ravines.
But at the same time, it seems like they wouldn't give a shit anyways because like, oh, it's not benefiting the society, so
Definitely
Acting
worth
like-
checking out.
Yep. So anyway, it's about 11. Marhume's starting to clean up. arranging tables, doing the standard like tearing down a restaurant kind of thing, like putting chairs on tables and stuff like that, sweeping the floor. You guys help out. You go up to your room. Do you sneak off into the night and flee this cult?
I'll help him.
Okay. Markington smiles and says, "I'll not turn down a helpful hand. I appreciate it." And you guys spend a friendly half hour just like sweeping floors and cleaning out pots and points to the pipes. Eh? You heard me when I called down for dinner, didn't you? Isn't that neat?
Very. It's quite something.
So, all right. You have a good night. If you guys need anything, I'll be in my rooms back here. Go on there. So, what do you guys do?
Go to bed.
Go to bed? Okay.
Go to bed.
Do you keep a watch? Okay.
Nope. I'm just
I
gonna,
definitely don't.
I'm just gonna, leave my tube plugged and
So,
maybe crack a window. So that the sunlight will come in, so I don't sleep. Because he can't call me, so I could sleep all day.
okay. So you crack the window. Do you like leave the
Yeah, the curtain drawn,
curtain drawn, but like kind of like
few inches.
maybe you throw like a something on it to like hold it open or something like no, because it drapes like from the top of the window down to almost the floor. Like you could lean something against it to hold it in place open.
Yeah.
Okay. So eventually you're all lulled to sleep by the quiet sounds of the crow-sink hissing and honking next door. What? Everyone but Jacob make a constitution save.
When the DM smiles, it's already too late. $17.
I'm going to use my fancy new Indomitable to re-roll my saving throw.
Good idea.
It is a 24.
So
We should have left.
make another constitution saving throw.
Me and him?
Yeah.
God fucking DM.
Ooh.
9?
11.
Okay. What is your perception bonus?
Would it be just my dex?
Perception.
Perception
Wisdom.
itself.
Wisdom and
And then if you're trained.
Like my...
Perception.
Do you want like my skill
Yeah.
or...
just your bonus.
Just the skill bonus.
Oh, plus
right?
6.
Plus 6. Okay. All right. So Constitution saving throw.
Again?
Yeah. You as well. Constitution saving throw.
The third time or second time?
Third time.
Third time.
17.
Okay. You wake up because you hear something. And there is... No, there's not. There wouldn't be. Okay. All right. So your room's dark. And if you had a candle, it's long since burned low. Something's kind of stinging your nostrils, and you see like just a little bit like the pipe next to your head, like that you stuffed your entire supply of clothing in. It's just like there's little thin like tendrils of like purple smoke coming out of, and you hear a fire burning through your open window, and you can kind of see like through the crack, like flames just like glowing outside. What do you do?
Motherfucker.
I look out the window and I see if is there smoke in the village?
You lift the corner, like you peer out, and you're on the second floor, and then you can see where this is where your rooms are, and you're on this side, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
You can see you have a good line of sight. So you see the hearth near the stone tower has been lit with a very impressive flame in terms of size and heat. It's huge, and it's been going for a while. It's not magical or anything. It's just a big fucking fire with lots of fuel. It's belching huge clouds of purple smoke out, like through the vents along the sides of the hearth, and they just kind of roll through the town like fog blanketing the area. It's very heavy and kind of low to the ground, kind of a purple, thick smoke, kind of glowing with reflected red and orange light from the fire. You see about 20 robed humans outside as well, situated kind of in a semicircle around the hearth. The robes have cowls, kind of shadow over their faces. They have long, long sleeves. The robes are bright red with kind of black, almost like scorch marks along the sleeves and the hem and like the edge of the cowl. Some of the robed figures are like stoking the hearth with a bellows. Some are throwing in more parcels of dried herbs, that kind of thing. One person, a robed figure with like a yellow flame stitched on his chest. He's kind of leading a chant. They're all chanting. And he's got his hands.
Really is a fucking god.
He's got his hands raised up in the air above his head, and he's standing like super close to the hearth. Like if you were that close to the hearth, your skin would be blackening almost. Like you're almost positive. Like he must feel like he's on fire. And he's just he's the only person there that's standing there and not doing anything other than chanting. And the chanting is pretty easy to make out. There's not a lot of volume to it, but like you're a little focused right now. It's the same thing over and over again. With blood and bone and flesh we appease you, seeking summer's end. With blood and bone and flesh we appease you, seeking summer's end. With blood and bone and flesh we appease you, seeking summer's end. Just on and on and on. Constitution checks. 16?
17.
What do you do?
They seem to be focused on this hearth.
Oh yeah.
And they're not like milling around at all. It's
Yeah,
like there's this core group of people and that's it.
It's priest and congregation facing priest.
I listen. So the smoke is rolling through the town.
Yeah, like
it's not second story
it's
height.
not
Like if
second
I look,
story
I'm over all the smoke.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like it hangs low to the ground about like belly, chest level.
And did we notice any vents in the hallway when we were walking around?
No.
Okay. I listen at my door.
Okay.
I don't.
Make a perception check.
7.
You don't hear anything.
I look into shadow.
But you also remember. Ooh, good thinking. But you also remember that when you guys were coming up here, you have a lot of gear. You're pretty heavy individuals. Some of you are in a lot of armor. The stairs, the landing in front of your rooms and everything. Nothing creaked, nothing cracked, nothing sunk. It was all very solid, very well cared for workmanship, woodworking.
Okay.
Almost like extra special attention had been paid.
So
to
you
make sure.
can't hear people walking around at night.
Almost like that might be a thing.
I check to see if there's any shadows in the building besides my comrades.
Lots of shadows. Only one of them has a human in it.
And it is?
Mark human.
And he is?
You get a sense that he is in the kitchen. He's got a small, that small clay brick with the stud in it, set on a countertop. And he's got a parcel of leaves on it that are smoking right up into the pipe system. His eyes are red rimmed, like he's been crying. He's also got a pretty solid
I was thinking that.
mug of something alcoholic next to him that he's been working on for a while.
Maybe not. He doesn't.
That's what I'm feeling like. He doesn't want to be a part of it.
And you
Can I step into his shadow?
as you watch for a minute, you see with blood and bone, the flesh made of peas, the eating summer's end.
Oh, well, he wouldn't be able to hear me. The landing's not very squeaky and seems pretty preoccupied.
Yeah.
Can I walk down there?
Yeah.
Just hit him on the head.
Non-lethal damage.
I mean,
I just want to knock him out.
makes
Let me step into his shadow. That's
Okay,
way
that's
easier.
it.
So I'll take it.
I'll take a bit of damage.
Yeah. I'm sweating out.
11.
23.
You wake up, and all of a sudden,
Both of us?
no, just him.
Oh, okay.
Your room is just covered, just covered in
Oh my God.
thick purple smoke, and you think you can hear someone mumbling somewhere, and like your tongue feels numb, and your nose feels tingly, and your eyes are all scratchy and shit, and you're also kind of poisoned, like you have the poison condition, and you can't feel your teeth. But you're awake.
I peek out my window.
Oh yeah, there's a whole production going on. There's purple smoke blanketing the town. There's some crazy dudes in robes like chanting and stuff.
Well,
Wait, what? Shadowed up?
Yeah.
All right. $14 cold damage.
Bro, that's real gold.
Yeah. And there's a little bit of a delay, like 6 seconds, almost as if it goes by rounds. And all of a sudden you're behind Maryun. You want to make an attack roll?
Yeah, I'd like to try and
Okay.
knock him
Go
unconscious.
ahead. Make an attack roll.
You want it like unarmed or just normal?
Regular attack roll. Like you can just hit it with the butt of your spear or something.
Okay.
Just say non-lethal. That's all
Yeah,
you
just
gotta
say
do.
nothing. Non-lethal ice laser spear damage.
when I hit him with a
Uh,
non-lethal fireball.
Wow. 26.
Technically
Oh, yeah.
possible for the
Right in the back,
rules.
right in the back of the head of the base of the skull. Boom.
And I take whatever he was working on. Does it smell flammable? If is it beer? Like if I poured it.
Oh, that's out. There's a lot of liquor in there. You pour that on.
Yeah. Even more. I am knocked out. I try
Now
and
that you're
douse
right
the
up here-
leaves, though.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Let me find
Where's
where
Kanathar? We need him.
I've built up resistance.
No, he's got the cloak of
17?
spring. He's pretty much immune.
17.
You're fine. Okay.
I want to
Um,
douse the leaves.
Yeah, go ahead. You douse him. Good job.
Cool.
What do? You make a Constitution saving throw.
I would open my door and see if it's smoky out there.
It's not smoking in the hallway.
9.
So you're not up. You don't need to know. Actually. What's your perception bonus?
+7.
Okay. Nice. Critical success. 27. You wake up and
Oh, Herbert's probably dying. Shit.
like your whole face feels numb. Your fingers feel tingly.
I'm assuming I'm poisoned.
Oh yeah, you have the poison condition, and the second stage of the poison, which I have decided to call numbed. So, you have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks,
Yep.
as well as disadvantage on strength and dexterity saving throws. You also have your speed.
Okay.
The next stage is stunned.
Okay.
But with successful checks, you can downgrade your condition as your body purges the poison. So it's kind of meant to be an aggravating or you're able to fight it off. One of the two. Or you can just fire up the skull turn, make yourselves immune to poison.
We'll do that, maybe.
Okay. I just want to remind you guys.
Disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws, you said?
Disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks, and strength and dexterity saving throws.
So you're essentially at 3 levels of exhaustion.
That's not the way I built it, but I could.
Disadvantage on ability checks, speed halved, disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws.
Yeah.
Is level 3 of exhaustion.
Yeah, that is. I didn't realize that.
Neat. Look at you.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. That's perfect because I can easily keep track
that's
of
what
that.
you're saying. Okay,
Yeah.
I was like, I was interpreting that as like a criticism, but
No, not at all. No,
sorry.
I thought it was neat that you did it without knowing. It makes it fair. It's like, yeah, these things all happen at the same time. This is how incapacitated you are.
So,
Are we in turns or right now? Or?
kind of, but kind of not.
Yeah.
So you went out into the hallway. All right, you're awake, aren't you? I said you're awake.
Yeah, I said I'm
okay.
awake.
All right, you're all awake. Move as you will.
I want to head back upstairs now. That
Okay.
is downstairs smoky? At all?
No, the inside, aside from like the kitchen area, you just caught like a whiff of
Right.
it as it was like going into the pipe system. Downstairs is clear.
Yeah, so I want to go up. And
Like if
start-
you were to inspect the windows, you would see that they're kind of sealed, like with caulk, like rather than just like put in and like it's kind of a hermetically
Tacked in.
Yeah, like it's kind of a hermetically sealed room. Not really, because it's just wooden caulk.
find my pouch or whatever. I dig and find a piece of cloth, tie it around
There you go.
my face, and as I do that, I mentally turn on my spear.
Okay,
Get it glowing.
she's on.
I just run upstairs and I'm start searching rooms.
All right, Kandar's out. Herbert's out. Gemma, Nema, Karnan, Tura, not Tura, Kenneth. Everyone's out except you guys. It's really awkward.
I thought they went to Mennum.
Oh, you're right. They did.
So
the other
basically
three
just-
party members
Yeah.
are out. The other 3 party members are
Okay.
out. Herbert is also out.
Okay.
Cool.
Just
So everybody's in the hallway just hanging out, kind of.
You 3 are.
No,
They're
we-
asleep.
Oh, they're not.
They're asleep. They're asleep.
So yeah, I go into rooms and I start carrying people.
Yeah,
upstairs.
that's what I work on after I
Okay,
get my
all right,
spear going.
All right, they're all out of the point.
And hold on, I fucking told you guys.
I mean, I'm
They all dress the same. It's weird.
I'm ready to go fuck some shit up. I'm pissed. Domhnall is.
We can't go outside. It's all in the town. We just gotta bar the door and wait it out.
So, what do
They'll
you
come
do?
to us. Oh, actually,
You guys all got bandanas on now, right?
yeah, we'll do that now. Then we know that helps. Yeah, let's bar the door. Do something. Does the door open in or out or both ways of a swinging door?
It's a swinging door. There's a bell on it. Doesn't really lock.
This works great. Turok, get the fucking leader. Pull him in through the shadows. Bring him here.
I was thinking we could just kill him and they'd all just break. You know? If
I'm
a spirit
okay
comes
with
out of the
that,
shadow and murders him, it's pretty much over.
I'm
He'll probably
totally
just
cool
die
with that.
getting pulled through the shadows anyway.
Well, either way, I'll stab him. And we'll see where it
Well,
goes.
hold on here.
Stab!
We were fucking
They're
gonna
gonna
be a
like
sacrifice, Uriel.
But they're gonna like your spear.
What do you mean they're gonna like it?
Whether they want it or not,
No,
they're gonna like it.
The way it sounds to me is they're sacrificing people to try and bring the seasons back.
Yeah,
Yeah, they want.
yeah, but it's called Summer's End.
Because they want
And
summer
we're
to
here
end.
for-
They're
we're
praying
here
for
something-
Summer's End, right?
There's something significant here.
Right.
I think it's just a
Regarding-
cult.
No, then why'd the spear bring us here then? They have something of
ravine.
value here.
He did say he didn't think that the spear was necessarily looking at the town.
Why would this cult set up here?
So maybe we should. Maybe
Why
we
would
should.
the
Cast
spear lead us to where this cult that's like, oh, Summer's End just happened to be here
Well,
where
when-
the spear would lead us to.
Maybe we should grab him alive.
I'll try and pull him in then. I mean, like, he's gonna get jabbed either way. It's the right.
It's just
Can I
how
not
it
hurt?
works.
I have to hurt him. I have to stab him, right? I guess I could reach and grab him. Could I? No, I can't. Can I?
You could.
I've never tried that.
You could jump through, grab him. You have 2 attacks, right?
I do.
Yes, it would take. There would be a delay because you'd have to spend 6 seconds in shadow, then go out, and then spend 6 more seconds in shadow, and then come out. So there'd be a bit of a delay.
But I wouldn't have to be in the smoke for any reasonable amount of time.
Right. It would be a second or 2.
Okay. can try that.
Okay.
I think
Yeah,
that sounds
let's
awesome.
do that.
All right. You take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 full damage. You pop up behind him. Make a grapple check, which is athletics or acrobatics versus something. I think.
Can I use this roll? It was really good.
Okay. All right.
It was a 19 natural.
Yeah, that's fine. All right.
How hot is Downward Spear?
8.
It's okay. It's at an 8.
Yeah. He has a lot of disadvantage because he had no idea you were there.
Right. Good.
So you grab him.
And then try and jump back to the tavern.
Domhnall has his spear ready for where he's hoping that they appear, just as an intimidation technique.
11. Okay, he's good. All right, he's got about 2 hit points left. You take 11 full damage.
All right.
You're back. You got him. He's screaming, "Ah, blood! I'm on. What? Travelers!"
Spear up to his neck.
Like, it's very clearly that this is Komovan. Oh,
Oh, you motherfucker.
he's got the yellow flame. It's clearly the high priest. He's like, "Travelers, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Trying to appease the goddess of summer?
By killing us?
No!
A little?
We are sacrificing you to her, and she is killing you in the hopes of appeasing her to end summer, so she will have mercy on this burned world."
You're actively stoking a fire.
Yes!
You're doing the murdering.
No!
You built pipes.
Of course, to subdue you!
Why is
We're not savages! We wouldn't,
He runs a
we
cult.
wouldn't give you over to her while you were awake! We're not monsters!
What does
She must be appeased!
What does my spear want?
It has no idea what the fuck's going on.
Ah!
I'm like, what?
Just tell him about the spear. And tell him it led us here.
This spear is her that you're trying to appease.
Preposterous.
At least part of her.
Preposterous.
She led me here.
Preposterous. Heretic.
I slapped her.
Heresy.
Not hard.
With blood and bone and flesh, we appease her, seeking summer's end.
So I grab her like up near toward the top, so her eye is like facing outward, and I shove it in his face, and I said, "Look into her eye."
Magic.
Ah.
Me, come. Well, what will you do? What you?
I
What will
really
you
want to
do?
press it against his face.
I don't know what to do. I want to kill them all.
Well,
he's got his-
we could sacrifice you instead.
Then so be it.
Oh my god, they're fucking
See, they're
insane.
delusional.
Oh, shit.
And he's got his arms crossed in his sleeves, and you see his hand move.
Oh. He's got stuck.
And I think he might pass out. So that was neat. Let me see.
I wonder if it was like a fireball or something.
No, it's just to the very bottom of the. Okay. So
What's happening?
So how many hit points does Turok have?
60 something.
60.
At least 60. 65 maybe. 62.
What's your current hit point total? 62?
62.
Okay.
Yeah.
12.
What did you?
What did you do?
Does anyone have 30 hit points or less?
Does anyone?
Herbert?
Anyone have 30 hit points or less, like, of the three of you?
No.
No.
Never mind, nothing happens.
Nothing happens?
Yeah, he tried to use a higher level version of sleep, but I rolled bad.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So didn't quite hit it.
Feel a little drowsy maybe, but nothing.
And then I pull his arms behind him.
Okay.
'Cause now I'm done with that shit. I don't know why we let him cross his arms to begin
You start
with.
slapping. Sleep, 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 sleep.
And you can hear, like, outside, like, everyone's kind of going with blood and bone and
Do we
flesh.
keep chanting?
Is you seeking... Summer's End? Is you seeking Summer's End? Like they're still chanting and the fire's still
Is this
going.
what we want?
But no one knows what's going on because the
Yeah.
shadowy Goliath just jumped out of shadows and stole their high priest.
Kind of wants you to jump back out and throw him in the fucking fire.
I was thinking I should have jumped out, pushed him, and jumped back through. I don't know. Are they still like bellowing? You know, like
The
it's still
chanting,
churning and everything.
The chanting is kind of falling off, but like people are still keeping it up. But it definitely has like what, like a questioning note to it now. And like they don't seem to have realized that maybe we should look in the inn where the only Goliath in town is.
I don't. The part of me wants to just say, yeah, sure, we could burn the village down, but there's kids and there's families and it's.
So I try to intimidate him into saying, I want to say, what tells you that this is the right thing to do?
I see her in my dreams, and just as my father saw her in their dreams, we bring travelers to
Those
her.
are fucking drug-induced nightmares that
We
you're
bring
having.
travelers to her, seeking to appease her.
Did you live in the same house as your dad did?
You got these pipes running to your house?
No, you live in the same house your dad did.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something under his house.
Yeah, that's a good one too. We definitely need to check that out. But I try to communicate with my spear. Like, is this actually her? That's like wanting these sacrifices.
Her, your spear?
My spear.
No, she has no. Well, make an insight check.
14.
She's as confused as you are.
Okay. So if it is the Horned Queen, it's a different shard of her consciousness, or okay, yeah, I'm just spitballing. I don't think it's her. I think it's all fucked up. I think
we kill this guy.
I think so.
Okay.
So let's
We need to ask him which house he lives in, though.
Where do you live?
Hey, which one's yours?
Oh, this one.
All right,
Okay.
With the headman.
stab.
Alright.
I was gonna cleave.
Oh! Oh!
Die quietly.
He dies. My queen.
Oh, that makes Donald really mad. Donald cuts his head off.
It's not hard.
Let's I'll go wake up Cryy Drunky.
Okay.
What his name escapes me.
Marhune. Oh, travelers. Oh, travelers.
I can tell that you don't want to be a part of this.
Oh,
but
come
what
event.
is going on?
Oh, come of. Oh.
Hey! Slap. It's a little slap.
Oh yeah, this guy.
Oh, why would you? Oh, my father would be so upset. Oh, travelers.
I think your father's next.
What? What?
Why do you play into this?
You're better than this, clearly.
I mean, I don't have a good answer.
Just because your father and forefathers did the same?
Hi, Aria. Yes, I know. It's very fraught with emotion right now. I don't have a good answer for you.
Well, I'm ready to run across the street to this house.
We can't.
But there's a mob.
And it's just rolling
They'll run
smoke
away
out
from
there.
you.
I really need my
We
fucking
take the
fireballs
pacifism
to-
thing really seriously.
Do you still have...
Except for the murder thing?
That's the goddess.
It's not the fucking goddess.
We drug travelers so they're not in pain. We bring them to her.
How nice of you.
It's humane. And frankly, it's got as good a shot as anything ending summer, don't you think?
Not as anything.
The rains happened.
Yeah, that was us.
Okay.
Everybody sucks. We did a lot of stuff.
Okay, he had disadvantage, but he rolled double 14, so... Wait. Really?
Really?
How did you do that? Like, he kind of sobers up. How How?
I kind of want to have Cassius show him the lantern. Like, just give him a little beam.
Just shine on for a while, get
Hey,
them all
and
juiced
then,
up with it.
you know, then the shadow monster might show up here in a couple days and destroy this place.
And yeah, like, that's fine with us right now, right?
I didn't do it. I didn't burn it. You know, I didn't kill all the children. The shadow monster did.
Oh my god, this is now like our grenade that we throw in after we leave a place.
I don't know. This
So
obviously we can't allow this to keep happening.
So what are you gonna do now, big man with a spear? And well, you're the big man with the spear.
He's drunk, like.
Oh god, he's been drinking all fucking.
Right, that's what I mean.
Like-
I feel like if anyone here has the ability to make
There's
me
like a
better,
solid
it's him.
chance he will die of alcohol poisoning by morning.
Well, it'd be humane to just kill him now then.
Like, do you guys have like a seasonal, like, because that spear's got ice and that spear's got fire. You guys,
It's a whole thing. We're bringing back the seasons. We're on kind of a seasonal arc.
God damn it.
inspiration. That was great.
That's great.
So what are you gonna do now, big man with the spear?
How long do they usually do this? Well, until we go in the fire, probably, right?
Well, what time is it now?
I give them a rough estimate.
Okay. Well, when dawn comes, they'll stop chanting, assuming I don't know why you're still standing.
Because I cram my vent full of clothes.
Oh. No one's ever done that before.
Yeah, you guys are creepy. And you telegraph it really loudly. You all wear the same thing.
We're socialists!
Yeah, you're
You
cultists.
mean murderers.
We don't murder anyone.
I beg to
You
differ.
don't. You don't hurt. You don't.
I mean, kidnapping. Why am I defending this?
The blade kills you. I just put it to you.
I didn't.
Yeah, I've never killed anyone either. It's always been my weapons.
Well, when you say it like that, it seems like very fragile logic. And he sees Comovin's head again. He's like, "Oh, Comovin. Oh, Comovin.
What do you know what to do here?
They're gonna be out there all night, and Dawn's gonna come, and they're gonna come in, wrap you up in ropes, take you
Oh my god.
to the goddess."
So, capital T for timeout. I wish I had Delayed Blast Fireball. And I totally put it on Comovin's head and throw it out the window.
That would be pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, can we get on the roof if we wanted to? Do you have like access
There's not like an access hatch.
to like
They're
out a window,
I mean,
balcony?
you could climb up from one of the windows on the backside. Why do you want to get up to the roof?
Why don't you just cross the street?
So we can shoot at all your friends.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, you kind of.
Or, we could let you could go out and tell them to fucking leave right now.
Okay.
Gee,
That's
are you-
actually, I like that.
Yeah, it's solid. Ish.
And he kind of lurches to his feet. Because I assume you guys have, like, kneeling in front of you, like, weapons ready to just, like, kill the fuck out of him.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So he lurches to his feet, and he...
You just holding your hilt.
I will turn this.
What are you gonna do with that? I've been meaning to ask you.
Hey,
What is that on the end?
you don't want to see.
I mean, you're not wrong, but you're also not right. Okay. He kind of lurches to the door and he swings it open in the exaggerated way that a drunk might, and there's a ding ding, and like the people that are out there like, with blood and bone and flesh we oh, they're awake. Run away! They took off Comovin's head. I'm sorry, Dad.
Just like so. I'm sorry, Dad. Like it's his fault.
And he leans against the door. And they all start screaming and running and like no one has any weapons. No one has any like swords or knives. No one draws a bow. No one hits you with a spell.
This has never failed. This is
like they just run to their homes. Like everyone just runs to the houses and like closes the doors, and you get the sense that bolts are being thrown and barred and that sort of thing. But like no one chases you guys. No one attacks you guys.
Are we confident that our masks is enough to withstand?
You'll have
walking through this
advantage on
crowd?
the saving throw.
You guys comfortable going now? I'd rather go now and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, might as well try it.
Okay. What do you do with Comavan?
Oh, I still got his head.
No, not Comavan. Mark Hume. Sorry.
Oh, I kicked his ass out the door wherever he goes, I guess.
Okay.
As long as everyone else is cool with that. Yeah.
Go somewhere.
Alright. You'll load up the wagons. Everyone make a constitution check with advantage.
Check or saving throw?
Saving throw, sorry.
That's 18.
17.
Alright. Okay, so it takes some time to get everyone loaded on your wagon, and your crowsank are kind of like, but they're pretty hardy, so they'll be fine.
Okay.
They'll be fine. So that takes some time. So make another Constitution saving throw.
17 again.
26.
Throwing straight 14s over here.
I threw it off the table.
Okay.
28.
Okay. All right. So you get everyone loaded. You get the wagon in motion. The crowsank's up and ready, and you guys head towards the gate, which is barred.
Right.
Well, I wanted to go.
Oh,
I wanted
we
to go
gotta
to
go to Comavan's house.
Oh, Comavan's house. Okay.
Yes.
So you get over here.
I'm cool with getting the wagon and shit ready to go.
Oh, everything's ready. You get over to Comavan's house. The door is barred from the inside.
Kick it. Kick it hard.
I melted open.
Okay. You find Humar inside. Just leave. Just leave. Fine. Fine. Just go.
There's got to be something here.
It's a small. I mean, it's not that big.
Are there floorboards?
Yeah, they're floorboards. Tear them up.
Yeah, we turn this place upside down.
Everyone make investigate checks. Everyone make perception checks. And he's
Those
just
are good.
screaming at you. Why?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? Fine. Leave.
Perception
Fine.
is 26. Investigation is 16.
All right.
Investigate 6, perception 24.
Mine weren't very good.
Or,
Okay.
sorry,
I only did
16,
one.
not 6 on
Okay,
investigate.
that's fine.
16.
So you guys spend. How long do you want to spend doing this?
No more than maybe, I don't know, 5 minutes.
Oh
Right?
shit!
I
Okay.
was gonna say, like, it's gotta be quick. It's gotta take time to tear all the boards in a house up, you know
I was
what
gonna say 30 minutes.
Wow, I was gonna say like an hour.
Dude, no, everyone's terrified of us. No one has weapons.
Everyone make Constitution saving throws.
But it's, yeah, the gas.
Well, if we didn't cut the door to shit.
Well, nat 20.
22.
25.
All right. You're fine. You're all fine. All right, so spend half an hour, maybe closer to 45 minutes, tearing the fuck out of this place. Humar is standing in the doorway, basically screaming at you. Why are you doing this? Why? Why? I understand you don't understand our customs. I understand we've offended you. I understand that you feel threatened. But our purpose is noble. We seek to end this hellish season that we are cursed with, and you guys are just like fucking
Paying no attention.
I mean, it's a small space. You tear up every floorboard. You cut apart every piece of furniture.
Turn around, like, just for a brief second as he's, like, freaking out about it, and I put a finger in his chest, like, as hard as I can. Something in this house is feeding you and whoever lives here lies. And I kind of push him away and go back to ripping shit apart.
There's nothing in this house. We share everything. There's nothing here. We take the goddess speaks to Comavan, and we bring her travelers, and she feeds upon them, in the hopes that we appease her and convince her to end summer.
So we don't find anything.
No, there's nothing like you guys have. Like the place is still standing, but you have destroyed its value as a home.
Like, I know, like, it bugs the shit out of me that I know they're not, like, they're just killing people. At least Domino firmly believes that because his spear's like, I don't know what the fuck this is. Like, I feel like my spear led us here, and I don't know, I'm just spitballing here. Because, like, a false idol type thing. Like, that's the vibe Domino's getting. Like, that's why she led us here. Like,
Okay.
someone's falsifying the Horned Queen. And she didn't like that. I don't know.
I say you
Domino's
kill this
pissed.
guy too. And then we give other guy the chance to change.
Domino's 100%.
The leadership's out of the way, and he now
we gotta
would be the successor. I don't know how their hierarchy works, but I assume that the son of the man who lives with the leader would be next in charge. I don't know.
Either way, though, if the two main figureheads
At least
both
there will be
die,
some sort of
something. There's going to be some type of change within.
How did the goddess speak to the guy who's now dead?
practice dreams. He said. I think he said
Sorry.
dreams. He said he would come in their dreams just like his father. And it just sounds like, there could have been something there because we're in a magical setting, but it's probably what a lot of people who are
I'm sorry.
told to say.
What's up?
I ask the guy with us, I forgot the names.
Harmian?
Humar.
Humar.
Humar is the
And
guy
Mar-
who's out to destroy Bart. Marhun is his son.
I ask how the goddess spoke to them.
Komovan and his father before him and his father before him, they dreamt of her speaking to him.
What
Speak to
proof
him.
do you have of these dreams?
I mean, I cannot see dreams, but I have seen the goddess.
That's what I'm saying. You have seen the goddess?
Yeah, when we bring travelers to her. The ravines!
Oh. So there's some sort of monster. So you're not burning people. I thought you were burning people.
They are burned.
So there's a dragon.
The goddess is in the ravines.
Take us to the goddess right now.
I will not.
Then you will die right now.
I beat the shit out of him.
Okay. Alright.
He stays alive, but I just beat the shit out of him.
Alright.
If he stays alive, it's because Uriel makes me make him stay alive.
This guy's fucked.
Now I say, take us to the fucking goddess.
I will not. Nope. You can't make me.
Please?
That would have been a... No. No.
Alright, let's kill him. I'm done with him.
Okay, do you kill him?
I try to get him to talk one last time by just slowly depressing my spear into his chest.
I don't know the way Komovan did.
Oh my god.
Oh, Talon! Talon knows the way.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
Well, we'll hang out here till tomorrow then.
Yeah, okay.
You hear Marhum yell, Father!
I'm sorry!
Alright, let's get the fuck out of here. Actually,
we gotta go get Talon now.
The furnace up.
she's coming back though. We can just wait outside.
Constitution saving.
She's coming back in the morning.
Kevin, cut the shit out of that furnace.
Okay,
Destroy
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I'll fuck up that furnace.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Alright.
Not a natural 20 but 18.
Okay, good.
I was gonna say burn as many of those leaves that you can find on our way out, just
That probably make me have to roll Constitution checks
but
every
they won't
time.
have them anymore.
They'll just grow more.
He meant outside. Like the ones growing outside.
Oh.
Yeah, but Talon's coming back in the morning. She wasn't gonna be back till the next day, and we didn't sleep a full night. So we'll meet her out front. We can meet her on the road, a mile and a half up if we want to.
Yeah, that's a good. We'll try to intercept her.
She won't even see this. It looks like normal. We didn't burn it down or anything. It's not charred. There's no smoke. Other than normal
There
smoke.
is, but that'd be something she's
We've
used to.
left it fairly normal, and they have no way to signal, so we can just talk to her.
Yeah, so we'll try to intercept her.
Okay.
Let us leave.
Okay, you leave. Head north.
Yeah, just on the road.
It's on the road.
Yeah. Maybe not too far, but you know.
Is there a place to call it?
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
there's nothing to fight
Okay.
in the ravines.
Okay.
Are they
But
just
I'm-
taking people down there and burning them?
You'll understand once you get there.
Okay.
So, I mean, for the sake of expediency, there is a footpath that leads around the exterior of the village.
Towards the ravine area?
Yeah. Like people frequently walk that way.
Maybe processions of people.
Maybe processions of
carrying
people.
other people.
Sometimes with a cart or two.
Seems like the
Loaded
way
down
of the
with
ravine.
maybe 200, 400 pounds. Depending.
We follow that path quickly.
Okay. I mean, like I understand that you guys, like, I don't want to, like, force you guys to do a thing, but, like, there's pretty clear indication that you could probably follow the trail.
Follow the way.
Yeah,
Ravine.
they're not secretive about going to the ravines. I would have mentioned it, except I forgot, and got distracted by the girl who I was trying to portray as high you initially met, because it's right there. That there's a footpath leading around the village. Sorry about that.
That's fine.
Probably wouldn't have thought anything of it.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. So.
They're pretty creepy.
Oh, God. Okay. So the ground in this area is a little softer, and it's a little more obvious that there's kind of a footpath. Anyone want to make a survival or a perception check to?
20 perception.
16.
Okay. So you follow it to, like, where the desert, this kind of suggestion of a path, to where the desert actually ends and the ground becomes actually, like, rocky, rather than just hard earth. And you do pretty good. You kind of, I mean, do you just keep going? Do you,
Yeah, just follow the path into the ravine.
So, you find the ravine, and, like, it's a couple miles south, and, like, she's narrowing it. Like, she stopped panning to the left and the east and west, and she's starting to look directly south. Like, she's focused south.
Okay.
You get a sense that she has a better idea, like, that you're going in the right direction.
Okay.
So you see booted tracks, you see sturdy boot prints, you see that kind of thing. You see scuff marks, you see the ravine. You enter the ravine, and you don't really have a good idea where you're going, so it takes a couple hours. The ravine starts on, like I said earlier, it's a nice even slope that you can descend. Levels out about 50 feet down. It's narrow enough at the bottom that you're forced to walk single file. Are you carrying light sources? Your spear's on.
Yeah. My spear's on.
The ravine curves left and then right and left and right, and it kind of doubles back, and, like, you know, like, it's all over the place. You never really get a clear, like nice straight view, is what I'm saying. And then you find something, and it's a stone marker. It comes up to about hip height, square base, chiseled to resemble a frozen tongue of flame. You know, kind of similar to, like, what Komovin had on his chest. It's a bit weathered, looks very old. It's set before the mouth of the cave. The cave is pitch black. It's tall enough and wide enough to accommodate a human. You'll have to stoop a little. Go in.
Oh, yeah.
So, you follow the passage, and for the first dozen feet, it looks like rough, natural rock. Like 24 feet, 30 feet, you know, rough, natural rock. But after that, it starts to look excavated. You can see pick and chisel and shovel marks. Old marks, not fresh or new. And it starts to widen, and then the three of you can fit side by side. And you don't have to stoop anymore. and it's perfectly silent aside from the scuffing of your boots on the ground, creak and rattle of your gear. Nothing moves or jumps out of you. It's just dark and still and silent, except for you and the light.
What's my spear doing? Okay.
Leaning forward like a lance. After about half an hour of walking, you start to see a very, very bright light source ahead. Like your night vision is pretty much shot with the spear on, but like something is really bright over there. And it's a familiar intensity and quality of light from when you guys woke up the blade of bone and flame on the pillars of iron. Before you destroy it. Never forgive, never forget. The passage opens up into a large circular chamber cut into the rock. It's maybe 100 feet in diameter, 30 feet tall. It's completely illuminated by the blade of bone and flame, which sits on a small rectangular stone platform in the middle of the chamber. The floor of the chamber is coated in a layer of ash that is inches deep.
Bodies.
There's a clear path, kind of like almost like the rock has been swept, leading to the stone platform. Along the walls, you can see like ash like streaking the walls. Like, and they kind of stop at about like the 20-foot high mark. Do you approach? You approach?
I approach.
You start to approach the blade on its platform, and as you do, you start to notice details in the piled ash around you. A detail. Bones. Human bones, Goliath bones, scorched black, cracked from heat. It's not like full skeletons, just the thicker bones that wouldn't burn. And you reach the platform, and unlike the original blade of bone and flame, this blade of bone and flame is obviously not covered in that large, blocky, gray metal housing. It's just bared. And it looks like this. Oh god, I hope I actually wrote it down. It looks kind of like this. I'm a bad artist, but I drew something. Looks kind of like that. Like a radius and ulna with frozen tongues of flame around the far end of it. Almost like you could grip it here and like make chopping, swinging motions with it. Like an axe or a big slashing sword.
And the flames are like frozen?
Yeah. Just like the original blade of bone and flame.
Okay.
Like
yeah.
it was just like that frozen flame and lightning and that sort of thing. So,
All right.
the bones are much larger. The radius and ulna are much larger than a human's or Goliath's. They're fused together and scorched black and studded with those frozen red and yellow and orange tongues of flame. Like I said, looks like you could chop it. Does anyone pick it up and start playing with it?
Domino kind of looks back at you guys and...
This is kind of your thing.
Do you mind? Yeah. Oh, yeah. With intense excitement.
So you're reaching to grab it, and the spear is kind of like looking directly at it. She's kind of vibrating in your hand, leaning towards the blade of bone and flame. Make an insight check.
$15.
You get a sense that she wants you to touch her to the blade of bone and flame.
Oh, I do so then.
Okay. You bring the glowing cherry red metal of the spear's point to the blade of bone and flame, and there is a searing flash of light, blinding, like staring into an eclipse.
Oh, that's probably good.
It drives hot spikes of pain into your eyes. You all start, the blade of bone and flame crumbles away into a pile of ash. And the ash.
Familiar? This is familiar?
Yes. The ash kind of swirls up into a cloud and like compresses down like into the thinness of like pencil lead. And it starts adhering to the flat sides of Domino's spear, kind of spiraling out in these coal black traceries of flame on the blade, which is glowing metal. So it's like this glowing cherry red molten metal with like this framework of black outline flames like all over it. I don't know if it looks cool or not. I thought it looked neat.
Sounds like pretty fucking neat.
Now, I'm assuming at this point your spear is at max intensity, dealing 8d8 fire radiant damage, shedding 40 feet of bright light and 40 feet of dim light beyond that. So 6 seconds later, it extends to 45 and 45, and another 6 seconds after that, it extends to a total of 50 bright light, 50 dim light, and it now does 10d8 damage.
Oh man,
That's nasty.
gotta get more D8s.
Now what?
Sleep.
Okay, take a nap in the ash pot. So,
Shit.
that was session 17 of the seasonal arc, the Village of the Fern Eaters. Alright, good game, guys.
What I don't like is that it was part of the Horned Queen that was fucking telling these people to burn those.
Or just